Oh, what's up, folks? Happy, what's today? Tuesday. I always forget the day it is. I don't even know what month it is most of the time. Or what week it is, or I don't know anything.
Who let the trolls out? Who let the trolls out? Who let the trolls out? A grown man tied that with his whole chest.
Smash the like button, share the live, do things you need to do.
Is currently doing this. He practiced that in the mirror beforehand. Imagine telling your kids that story. Who let the trolls out? 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 Oh wow, that's edgy. You must be exhausting. A fully formed adult chose this as a hobby. He thought that.
When are we getting more songs? How many more songs do you need?
This is a panel, not a cry for help. Who let the trolls out? Who let the trolls
I have 19 songs.
Who let
That's a whole album.
Who let the trolls out? Say a troll ain't nothing if he ain't got a grievance. Or Charlie wave the grievance. Or Charlie wave it. A troll ain't nothing if he ain't got a grievance. Or Charlie wave the grievance. Or Charlie wave it. Who let the trolls out? 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 He's got a mortgage and he's doing this.
His long
Peak performance from a person
with a bedtime.
That's a whole biography of choices. Somebody loved this man and look what happened. Who let the trolls out? Who let the trolls out? Who let the trolls out?
What am I doing today? I'm just sitting here being handsome.
Trolls out. Who let the trolls out? Who let the trolls out? Who let the trolls out? Yippee-yi-yo! Who let the trolls out? Yippee-yi-yo! Yippee-yi-yo! Who let the trolls out?
Yes, it is. It is.
Who let the trolls out? Yippee-yi-yo! Yippee-yi-yo!
You know, it's funny back when, also look how good my teeth are starting to look. I went to the dentist a couple times. I'm going back again in June. Getting them fixed. Because we finally got insurance, which is great. That's one of the good things about Canada. We finally got some dental insurance going on. Me and my brother, when we were younger, when we thought we were players and we were cool, every time we took a picture, it was always. Every time. No smile, just squint. You'd squint. We'd do it every single time. Every single time. I call him right now. He'd tell me I was right. For sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's trouble in paradise. Trouble in paradise. Me and the wife are having the biggest fight we've ever had in our lives. Biggest fight that we have ever had in our lives. It may very well end our relationship. We don't know. We don't know. So we need your help. We need your help in making a decision. Should we get a corded vacuum or a cordless vacuum? Now I'm putting my foot down. I'm saying I'm not getting no corded vacuum. She's insisting that we get a corded one. She's insisting. I hate corded vacuums. I hate corded vacuums with a passion. With a passion. She's so much better than me. Yeah, that's without a question. Without a question. Now, my argument is this. My argument is if we put some good money down on a vacuum, it won't matter. Might have to spend a little bit more and get a good one. Our problem is our wireless vacuums we've tried have all been cheap, really cheap. We have to put some good money down. I also hate cords, but I also hate my vacuum. Not sucking anything in 3 months and throwing $200 in the... It was not $200. It wasn't a $200 vacuum. But if we do buy a $200, I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think if we put some good money down, I think we look at reviews. I think if we put some good money down on a cordless vacuum, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. But a corded vacuum, my goodness gracious, what are we doing? Are we living in the 90s? Are we living in the 90s? Now, Gabe, Abby, I don't know if you're listening. Gabe's on your side. Says that my wife supports you, Abby. She actually cleaned houses for a living. But you got to unplug it, replug it, unplug it, replug it. The cord gets in the way. That's what takes all the fun out of vacuuming is the damn cord. The damn cord. And then you got to go get the extension cables to attach to it. I like corded better because the weight helps a ton. Well, let's do a poll. Who says vacuuming is supposed to be fun? Who says anything's supposed to be fun? Corded or not? Corded. Not. We're going to do a poll. We're going to do an ad populum fallacy. Because clearly, if you guys vote in a certain direction, that means it's right. We don't need any data or evidence. We just need a whole bunch of people to agree with each other. A rainbow vacuum will outlive my bloodline. We don't have anything rainbow in this house. There are no rainbows in this house. I'm telling you that right now. We get a rainbow vacuum. People might start making assumptions. As an owner of both, corded is better. Bro, you're not winning this argument. I win all my arguments. If the universe is continuously identity of physical world is solved in... What are you talking... We're talking about vacuums, bro. Read the room. Using polls to solve marital problems. Aren't you guys supposed to be taking my side? Is this not the parasocial relationship that we have? Is that I do something and you're just automatically on my side? That's what everybody says every time I'm like, oh, we could do a poll. And they're like, they're obviously going to agree with you. It's your show. They're your fans. They're going to agree with you. Isn't that what you guys are supposed to be doing? Isn't that our parasocial relationship? We got a couple people on my side. Oh no, it's the same guy talking twice. Oh no, we got two people. You forgot what? Any options on theory? Is there any sort of like dual corded and non-corded? One that has a cord so you can always just plug it in, but also can be unplugged and has a battery. Is that a thing? Does that exist? Can we find a compromise? My goodness, Abby, why don't you come and run the show? They're clearly your fans, not mine. Why don't you come here and sit in this chair and you can do the reaction today? You can do it because clearly they're here for you, not me. They're always taking your side. They're never on my side. They're always on your side. So this will now be the Abby Steele show. We'll just change it to Abs of Steel and we're done. They are the fans of truth. They are fans of truth. I think they're just fans of you. They're fans of you. Everybody always just takes Abby's side. I don't think I've ever had a discussion or an argument with Abby where we disagree and we had to bring someone else and they agreed with me. She's just so sweet. No one wants to look her in the face and tell her no. No one wants to do that. I'm the only one on the planet Earth that could do that. And we ended up getting married. What is corded? It's when you plug it in the wall. Because she's a woman. All right. Well, 70-30. I guess we'll just end the live stream. Clearly, you guys are not here for the Big John Steele show. So I mean, if you're going to take her side, never say no to the wife. Always say no to the wife. You say no to reasonable things. You say yes to reasonable things. This idea that the wife, there was a saying that I was told when I was younger. It's like, hey, I'm going to give you some advice on women. Stupidest advice I was ever given. Stupid. This is dumb. It's so dumb. Your wife is always right, even when she's wrong. No. Dumbest advice known to man. That's how you end up with sitcom dads. You guys know what I mean when I say sitcom dads? You know what I mean? This is a common gripe that me, Abby, and her dad have about sitcoms shows. Every sitcom dad, as a wife, I disagree with that. Amen. Every sitcom dad was a pansy. Did not wear, they'd always, oh yeah, I wear the pants in the house. And the wife would come in and give him a look, and then he'd be, oh, they'd shrivel up and weren't even a man. And they're just kind of useless. And they'd sit on the couch and watch TV, and they wouldn't really contribute. They'd go do their job, and their wife pretty much ran everything. And it was always like this thing about like, why it's like way out of the league. Why are they even together? I could think of like here's like off the top of my head, King of Queens. That's one. Everybody Loves Raymond. That was another one. Both the dads. I can't remember the names of a few, but I could see that in my head. It was stupid. It was stupid. Don't even get my dad started on Berenstain Bears. There you go. Berenstain Bears. Al Bundy. I feel like Al Bundy put his foot down a little bit though. Like he was kind of like, he was lazy, but he wasn't useless. And the wife was kind of useless too. They were kind of like both useless. But no, that's just not the world that we live in, right? You have two grown human beings that both contribute in their own ways in their own house. But you don't see like I can't think of a single married couple in all of television and movies off the top of my head. There might be one, but I can't think off the top of my head where you have a man who's an actual man. Tim the Tool Man. Actually, you know what? That might be one. He was he a pushover? I don't remember. Tool Time. I don't remember if he was a pushover or not. It's been a while since I watched it. Was he a pushover in Roseanne? I don't think he was. I think we have a couple shows. I think like he was kind of like it was like a mix of the two. Like sometimes they were pushovers, sometimes they weren't pushovers with those. Like Dan and Roseanne, when he went and like knocked out Buddy without even asking permission, like that's the way it should have gone. Trump shouldn't bomb all the Iranians today, right? I think it's a good topic. Sorry, I'm broke for a bit. Well, you're the only one who dropped $5, so I appreciate you. You shouldn't apologize. No one else dropped $5 to leave their comment. I don't know what's going on with the war. I'm not the person to ask. I have not studied it. I've not looked at it. I don't know who's bombing who. I don't know who started what. I don't know what's going on. So I can't, if I made a comment, it'd be an uneducated comment and irresponsible. I will say this. I don't think we should actively ever choose to unalive people. I don't think that should be the path that we should take. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. I don't know anything. I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm the wrong person to ask about this, which is why I keep talking about one day I'm going to get into politics and you're all going to be cooked. I've just yet to do that dive. And I don't know when I'm going to do it because like as I'm doing apologetics, I'm still studying apologetics, so I don't have time to study politics. But one thing I want to do is, I really want to do is when the next Canadian election comes up, I want to start talking about it more because I think so many people misunderstand Pierre Poilievre. I really think if we could talk to people about him, just like, vote for this guy, this is the reasons why, and learn all the things, maybe we could change some minds. But unfortunately, for me, it's a fortunate thing and an unfortunate thing. Most of my audience is American. So talking Canadian politics, people are like, why do I care? Why do I care what Maple Syrup Man has to say? Why do I care about Maple Syrup Man and his politics? Oh, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? He's got a policy on how many moose you can take to work. That's what's going to happen. Oh, he's got a policy on how many cubes you can put in your igloo. Is that what's going to happen? Is that what's going to happen? You're Canadian, you will listen. Actually, Canadian politics are starting to hit the world stage. When you got a guy like Pierre Poilievre going on Joe Rogan, we're becoming world politics, man. We're becoming world politics. So it might be a platform for it. The Canadian Council didn't help either. I have no idea what you're talking about on that one. No, well, we do got a few Canadians. I know Fresh is a Canadian. Trump is using this to gain leverage because he doesn't have any more. Honestly, man, Trump's a hard guy to defend these days. Is Canada a direct democracy or more of a republic? I'm trying to remember what we're exactly called. It is a type of democracy. I'm trying to remember what the specific... Let me Google it. It's a type... parliamentary democracy. So we have a parliament. We're also constitutional monarchy. Listen, you actually ever want some entertainment? I'm not lying. If you ever want to be really entertained, go watch the House of Parliament debate. Just watch them do their thing, bro. It's hilarious. They roast each other, man. They're no better than TikTok debates. The only difference is they're not allowed to talk over each other because they have to address the speaker and they have to wait their turn. But it is hilarious, some of the things. They absolutely... Hold on. Let's see if we can do... let's see if we can find like a compilation of roasts. Like here. We'll watch this real quick, and then we'll get on to what I wanted to get on to today.
If it were not for global news, we would not have learned that the Conservative leader has been purposefully using his videos to appeal to far-right misogynistic online movements. These are anti-women movements, and they have had devastating real-life consequences. Mr. Speaker, I call on the Conservative leader to stand in this House, take responsibility, and apologize.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition. Order. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
I condemned this organization, and I corrected the problem as soon as it became known to me, Mr. Speaker. But I condemn all forms of misogyny, including when the Prime Minister fired the very first female Indigenous Attorney General.
He's such a gangster. I don't know why his chair is green. That's a good question. Maybe it's just something that was picked, just randomly.
Mistreated minority young women in his own caucus who had to leave politics, and I condemn him for when he dressed up in racist costumes so many times he forgot them all. We condemn it always, Mr. Speaker.
Like that's Canadian politics, man. It's just they get into a room and they just roast each other. Yeah, that's Pierre Poilievre, man. Like he's such a gangster. He's like, yeah, I condemn the amount of times you dressed up as a racist.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the choice made by the Conservative leader in reaching out to extremist online groups into, pulling in anti-women, misogynistic groups for his own political gain is one that he will have to answer for. I think women across this country want to know why he allowed this to happen and want to see him take responsibility for it.
That's right. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
He's such a little pansy, such a little dweeb.
I took responsibility and corrected.
I've met him, by the way. I met. I've told this story a few times. I met Justin Trudeau one-on-one before he ever ran for prime minister, before he was even known. The only thing that we knew about him at the time is like, okay, so the story is I was back in the Yukon, right? This is where I lived, and I was bartending, and I was the only person working as an employee in that bar that evening. So I was the only one there, and he just happened to come in. It was like a Thursday night. And so he happened to come in and I served him, and he was there for a few hours and we never really talked about anything, but he would order a whiskey and Coke, and he would wink at me. He was a tall mother trucker too. He's a big guy. But that is my story and my interaction with freaking Trudeau, out of all people. He just came in, and then somebody was working. I forget who it was. Somebody who was there. Like, I worked with them, but they weren't working that night. They were just kind of hanging out. They were like, "Oh yeah, that's the son of Trudeau." But yeah, no, he didn't tip me. No, he did not give me a tip. That's the thing. There was no tip given. Now, who knows? Maybe he wasn't allowed to. I don't know. But he did not tip me at all. Now, granted, I wasn't a really good server, but...
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
I took responsibility and corrected it as soon as it became known to me. But the Prime Minister does not take responsibility for the extremism that he has funded. He funded a vicious anti-Semite to spread hatred online with taxpayers' dollars. He repeatedly, in fact, so many times he can't even keep track, dressed up in racist costumes for which he has not ever come fully to account. And he drove many...
It's true. Have you guys seen that? Hold on. There he is. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Prime Minister of Canada at one point. he got voted in. He got voted in over Pierre Poilievre because people were afraid that Pierre Poilievre was too racist. And he was anti-homophobic. Abby knows someone who refused to vote for him because they were gay, and they were afraid that if he got in politics, they wouldn't be allowed to be gay. Pierre Poilievre's got a gay dad. Or so he says. Maybe he's lying. But that's who they voted in. You know why? American politics. Liberal, conservative. That's all that matters. It's the title that's underneath you, not what you actually stand for, which again is one of the reasons I want to start getting into politics. Because listen, I don't give a rat's butt. If you're a liberal and you got better policies, I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna go that way. Anyways, this is what I actually wanted to watch today. Thanks to everybody who posts in the Discord, by the way, and gives me videos to react to. Because I was trying to find my own content I wanted to react to today. I couldn't do it. And then I saw someone post it. Who did post this? I should give props for props too. Who did post this? Also, the watch party is open for co-hosts. Who did post this? Modern Centurion. So thank you for that. Because this looks like it might be interesting. We're going to get that playback speed up, though. I'm going to get it going. Get it going. If Pierre was a liberal, we would vote liberal. 100%. 100%. There's nothing that would stop me from doing that. Nothing that stops. It's so crazy, though. I actually think that liberals vote more than conservatives, at least in Canada. Because when we went to vote, the people surrounding us were not. You could tell they weren't conservative. You could tell. But again, we went to vote at a time where most people would be at work, so...
Islam is such a violent religion. Every time we murder a bunch of their children, they try to kill some of us. Disgusting. Islam has been entirely spread through violence and conquest since its inception. Every single century, with no exception, predating the United States. Let's go to Islam. A lot of Africa has been, a lot of the continent of Africa has been tainted by the evil poison that is the Islamic ideology. So I'm going to get to a few kind of claims that are being made out there. Like I talked about earlier today, you see some people, everyone on the left, and so
what the heck is this? What is going on with this? Big hand steel? Show my feet? Show my feet? What is this? How much are you willing to pay me to see my feet? How much? I do pronounce everything wrong. Literally everything. But again, I'm Newfie with a father with a speech impediment. $0.
It's Han. Like Han Solo.
There's no W. Han? There's no W.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking. Everybody always told me growing up, you know how you learn how to read? You sound it out. There's no W. What's the A sound make? Ah. Han.
Han Solo.
Han. There's no W.
Yeah, but you know Han Solo. That's the picture, baby.
It's a picture of what?
It's you.
Oh, it's a picture of me as Han Solo.
Yes.
That's great. That's amazing. But there's no W. It's not Han.
They're making clips videos of you.
Who is?
Big Han Steel.
Han. Big hand steel. I hate you. The W is silent. Abby's right once again. The no W. I'm telling you, man. It's just like John. There's no Jahan. Everybody, you sound it out. That's not how English works, bro. Han. Han. There's no H either. If there was H-A-H-N, I could go Han. It's Han. N, right? A-N? What does A-N sound like? A, I put an H in front of it. Han. Right? If I show you the letter A-N, you're going to say An. That's the way it sounds. I throw an H in front of it. The H makes a sound, so it's Han. Ham, exactly. Take the M, replace the N. Han. I'm right on this one. I'm always right. This channel I made funny moments to you. I just changed the name, but now I want to change it back. No, I love it. Keep it. Keep it. Big Han Solo. How do you pronounce Anne? Anne. I am mad about this. It's just like when I learned about, what are they called? Onomatopoeias? Is that it? When I learned about that, I was mad about that too.
I'm on the right saying, hey, Islam is actually not the threat, okay? That's propaganda. And if we stopped bothering them, they wouldn't hate us so much. It's because of our actions that the...
I get it. I get it. Han, John. But look at those two. Look at those two words. Han and John rhyme. But you look at it, they're not spelt the same. So it should be Han Solo, should be H-O-N. Should be H-O-N. It should be, that's the way it should be spelled. They're just making things up nowadays, man. The English language makes zero sense.
Those who follow the Islamic...
Also, somebody's in here. Hello. Ugh. Out of all the possible co-hosts that could have joined. Huh? Why'd I fire you? Oh, hold on. I don't think anyone can hear you. There you go. Now they can hear. Why'd I fire you? Because you went out with your wife when you were supposed to be watching the live. You didn't show up.
The reason why I missed one live and I'm gone. Damn.
Yeah. We got priorities here, son.
All right. Sorry, man.
Stewie and cool whip. You should be able to hear him now, yeah.
Faith support attacking us, killing us, to the tune of 198 million Muslims worldwide support violence against non-Muslims. I want to disabuse you of that because I think a lot of people don't have their opinion rooted in basic history. We'll also get to the founders, the reason for that history, Jesus versus Muhammad, and then real-world data today to see if it's still following the historical trend line. So if you've been following the news or maybe reading some tweets, scrolling, you might think now that Islam, well, half the country thinks it's fine, it's benign.
Why did she give me the side eye?
It's not great.
Breaking news out of Texas this morning. We are now learning law enforcement officials are investigating an overnight shooting as a possible act of terror. The shooting outside a bar in Austin.
Well, a possible act? Hold on. Listen, if somebody came in and pew-pewed wherever I'm at, I'm going to be pretty scared. It's not a possible act of terror. There's a lot of terror going on there.
Austin's busy East 6th Street area left 3 people dead, 14 others injured, 3 of them in critical. condition this morning.
Tonight, a chilling terror attack thwarted in the backyard of New York City's mayor. Chaos unfolding as demonstrators clashed and ran for safety.
This was not random violence. This was a planned attack motivated by
You think she's a Jew?
extremist ideology.
Sheer panic in Bondi.
Thank you, baby.
Terrified beachgoers run for their lives as shot after shot rings out. The two shooters used long-armed weapons to open fire from a bridge onto a park.
Wait. Yeah, so this is the thing that happened, right? Mild, medium terror. Do I pronounce the S in island? No.
Who the hell says Island?
Muslims?
Well, maybe.
Islam? Island? There's all these things. You can close it.
Wait, so how would we pronounce Islam
You can
if
close
we
that if you
pronounced it like island?
Yeah, close it. What'd you say?
How would we pronounce Islam if we pronounced it like island?
Like island?
Yeah,
Ilam.
would it just be Ilam?
Ilam.
We should do that from now on.
Yeah, well, I'm saying the English language makes no sense. Everybody told me you could figure it out. No, you got to study to know this stuff. And then people get mad at you don't know if you don't know how to like spell a certain word. It's like, how am I supposed to know how to spell all the words? Get out of here. Anyways, this is the guy. I saw a whole bunch of Muslims post on this. So correct me if I'm wrong. This is the guy who got stopped by a Muslim, and everybody's like, see how a Muslim jumps in to save the day? Isn't that what happened?
I'm unfamiliar with the event.
That's what I think happened.
Where members of Sydney's Jewish community had gathered to celebrate Hanukkah.
The new information coming in on the man with prior ties to ISIS who opened fire on an
Yeah, and then it ended up that they were actually Muslims doing a terrorist attack. I don't know. We'll have to watch and see.
ROTC class at Old Dominion University.
Police in West Bloomfield, Michigan, now responding to an active shooter, we're told, at Temple, Israel. The West Bloomfield Police Department set out an alert urging residents to avoid the area now.
Yeah, so
a synagogue. Yeah, so synagogue was shot up.
Since March 1st alone, we've seen attacks from those who follow the ideology, the poisonous religion of Islam. They have perpetrated crimes. There was the shooting in Austin, the IED attack in New York City, the shooting at Old Dominion University, Temple attack in West Bloomfield, Michigan. And if you were to look at this and your starting off point would be, well, hold on, wait. This is important.
You a Crowder guy?
Not really. We have the same headset.
Nice.
Look at that. Me and Steven are connected.
I used to watch him before I watched you.
I've watched him sometimes after his whole incident with his wife. I wasn't the biggest fan, but there's a whole lot of missing information there. It's hard to say exactly what's going on because we all have our moments. Listen, man, I've done things in my life that I'm not particularly proud of, as I'm sure we all have. And just unfortunately, fortunately, those moments are not caught in small clips and plastered for the whole world to see and judge. So that specific moment didn't look the best for him, but it did look a little edited, and I don't know the whole context. So
retaliation. That's because of what the United States has been doing in the Islamic world. And there are many people who believe that. I just have to tell you.
And that's the thing. Everybody, I used to watch him a lot. Now I don't watch him at all. I'm trying to tell you guys this. You guys all watch me now. Eventually you're going to be like, Big John who? I used to watch that guy. What's he up to now? It's going to happen. It all happens. There's a few select people that hang around from the beginning to end. And you know, now that I'm just firing people left, right, and center, they might just peace out.
We'll go through again. History, founders, real world data, everything you're saying. You're wrong about everything.
Wrong.
All right. And by the way, this is not a character judgment on people who have made these statements. I just think it's important to
Crowder kind of swole. Crowder kind of swole, bro. Also, that's not a good point to pause. Kind of looking like a little look at him there. Look at him.
I think as he's gotten older, you think he kind of looks a little bit like Alex Jones now?
No.
What? You don't see it?
No. How are you getting that?
It's in the face.
I'll stay Nate because you are what? I'll stay mate because you are Spectrum AF, which is, why does everybody think I'm autistic?
You're dyslexic.
Well, I'm tired of everybody telling me I have everything. I've been told I have ADD, OCD, and I have obsessive compulsive anxiety disorder, autism. I got it all, apparently. I got the whole king caboodle. Huh?
Do you have ADHD?
I was diagnosed as a kid with ADD.
That's technically on the autistic spectrum disorder. So
technically, I am autistic.
You and me, we got it.
But then I was told I didn't have any of it because they cannot have. Apparently, you can't have ADD and OCD at the same time because they're contrary to each other. But I've been diagnosed with both, like officially, not like some TikTok doctor, like an actual guy with a PhD sat across from me and was like, "Yep, you got this." Now I did take an autism test and I failed.
As a guy who argues with doctors every day, they're not always right.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm so happy I failed my autism test though. You can't have
really
both,
trying to
that's
get
not true.
that joke to land. They're really trying.
As long as I found it funny.
Views you of a notion that is false.
You seem normal to me. Listen, if everybody's got a mental disorder, there's a reason. There's a reason that when I scroll through TikTok and I see a video, it's like, hey, if you have ADD, this is something for you, and it's got 700,000 likes. I'm like, oh wow, what a coincidence! 700,000 people all have ADD. If everybody has a disorder, no one has a disorder. That just means we're medicating people to make them behave in a way that we would prefer rather than way we are.
If you look at the Iran conflict, and by the way, I think the conversation should center around really budget, national security, and the level of interventionism with which.
I mean, if autism is on a spectrum, does that encompass everybody? I mean, I can look people in both eyes at once. So is that autistic?
It's because you're an alien.
True.
We are comfortable. I do not believe that this conversation should take place around the topic whatsoever. Well, is Islam really violent, or is it our fault?
It's hard to say if Islam in itself, it's because I think it's difficult to say a religion is violent. Like a religion is an ideal. Now, if the ideal says to be violent, then I guess. But I think it's Islamists, because like there are many Muslims just day to day, like just like there are Christians who are armchair Christians, there are armchair Muslims that are not violent, that are good people and just live in their life and don't know what's going on, and they don't even know what the religion says, and they haven't even read their Quran, but they're Muslim because that's what they are. And those guys are, I wouldn't say are like, so we got to be careful of like making sure that, hey, oh, I see somebody with a hijab, I hate them all of a sudden. We can't do that.
Say, why are we doing anything with Iran? They've never attacked us. That's factually inaccurate. If you say, well, the Islamic world was at peace with us until our intervention or our interventionist policies, that is factually inaccurate. That is an illegitimate opinion because it is based on a verifiable fallacy. History, founders, real world data. Dave Smith's tweet went viral yesterday.
So I don't know if he's going to talk about it, but am I right? Is that not the clip that all the Muslims say, hey, it was a Muslim? Okay, I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it instead of just guessing.
It was this act of heroism that made headlines around the world, as the man in white throws himself on one of the gunmen to disarm him. While bodies litter the ground near the beach and another attacker continues to fire, the man does not hesitate to risk his life and manages to wrestle the rifle from him while the killer's accomplice shoots in his direction. He forces the shooter to back away and raises his hand to signal to the police that he is not the threat. With his actions, he has just saved lives. Another man in a black cap throws an object at the terrorist and pushes him back even further with bullets flying in his direction. According to Australian television channel 7
this is it. And I saw a whole bunch of Muslim creators posting the video and propping him and saying this is what we believe in Islam, right? Look, a Muslim man saves a whole bunch of people, but then they failed to mention that they saved a whole bunch of people from a Muslim man. I know I saw those videos. And I didn't look into it. I just saw them all saying, hey, look, I'm Muslim. I'm like, okay, cool. One Muslim stepped up and saved the day. That doesn't change anything. That's all I thought. I didn't think anybody looking into it. I didn't know that the person that they saved was another Muslim man shooting at Jews. All I heard, they leave that part out. It's crazy how they leave that part out. They never tell the whole story. I'm getting tired of the editing and the clips and the lies and the half truths. Like Islam really is a religion full of lies. Really is. They have zero problem lying, man. Zero problem lying.
Islam is such a violent religion. Every time we murder a bunch of their children, they try to kill some of us. Disgusting. Okay, here's the truth. And I get that it's easy for people to...
I heard both theories. He's a Muslim or a Lebanese Christian. I don't think it matters. I'm saying what matters is the narrative that they try to push. Clips and half-truths are universally thing through, though to be fair, not fair. That's true, Abby. That's a universal thing. People do clips and half-truths all the time. That's why I'll repeat this till I'm blue in the face. If you tell me a piece of information, I ask you where you got it from, and you say TikTok, I immediately disregard it. Because I know for a fact, I know I've seen so many people post clips on TikTok and I go spend 2 seconds looking it up and it's a complete fabrication. And the people who make responses calling out fabrications are never. I actually think algorithm pushes or the algorithm on TikTok pushes lies on purpose. Because I've seen people call out the BS and they get like 5,000 likes. But then you go back and watch the original video and it's like 100,000 likes and people are like, absolutely, yup, that person absolutely cooked and roasted. Chat GPT, I don't know, you call it GPT. What about Iman? I don't know what you're talking about. But Chat GPT just straight up lies to you. It doesn't, it just tells you what you want to hear. I'm actually like moving myself away from AI. Now I just deleted one of my AIs. I deleted one of my memberships to that. I'm pretty much just using it for quick Google searches. And like I said, AI can be a great tool if you know how to use it. But the way I was using it stopped working. Yeah, I deleted Claude. Because the way I was using it and it was working great for a while and it was getting me, then I kept using it that way. And then I guess it learned from my behavior. And then it was like, did I hear that our budget changed? Yes. Claude's gone now, Abby. And then it just started lying and making up things and combining sources. That's what drove me nuts. It's like, hey, here's what it says. Here's the source. And then I look at the source and I'm like, that's not what it says. They're like, you're absolutely right. I combined these two off sources and I invented a new narrative, but it still has the spirit of it. I'm like, you dipshit. Like I require, like, it's just not good.
Believe this out there. If you just haven't opened the Quran or...
I was changing the oil yesterday in my car and asked ChatGPT what oil filter I should use. And it gave me a completely wrong oil filter for some reason. Yeah, you can't trust it. You can't trust it, man. It just, and then it starts, and then if you start disagreeing with it, it will argue with you. It'll straight up just start arguing with you about it.
Any other history book. First, let's go through history. Islam has been entirely spread through violence and conquest since its inception. Every single century, with no exception, predating the United States. And then it was our first real war or conflict.
Yeah, but what's your data?
Conflict once we had become a country after ratification as the United States. Why? Because of Muhammad. You can go to the 7th century where you look at Muhammad besieging, executing, enslaving everyone. Muhammad's
atrocity against the Qurayzia? See, don't sound it out. That probably says Jim Lajop. That's probably actually how it's pronounced. But if I try to sound it out, it is important to cite these complex names above because today Muslims polemicists who defends Muhammad's extermination and enslavement of the Jews overlook the fact that early Islam knew specifically who the enemy Jewish leaders were by name. So did all the men and adolescent boys who have to be executed. All the women and children enslaved can only be the leaders. Would not have been. What is this source? Where all sources available in the description. Okay, so it's down below.
Who stood against him? You can
answeringislam.org. Phenomenal.
At the conquest of Levant. You can go 8th century. There's more Islamic conquest. You can go to the 15th century. The sack of Constantinople, kind of a big one. And this is the reason that it's important. Of course, the Barbary.
Let's go have a look at them sources, son. Remember that time I called God son? Link to sources. Link to sources. Islam is totally chill. Muhammad's atrocity against the Jews. Yeah, so answering Islam. Here's my issue with the Answering Islam website is that it's very, very difficult to navigate and it's very, very difficult to say how they get their information and never tell it. Like my favorite thing about reading books is that the back of every book is got, if you get a good book, it's going to have cliff notes. Or are they called cliff notes? I'm trying to remember what they're called. But they got those little sections where it's like, hey, this number, my data comes from this point, go to the cliff notes, and it gives you the source and the information so you can pull it up and figure out how they actually came to those conclusions. But But luckily for us, it's just giving us quotes here. Allah turned back to the unbelievers in the state of rage, having not won any good, and Allah spared the believers. Battle. Allah is indeed strong and mighty, and He brought those of the people of the book, so either Jews or Christians, who support them from their fortresses and cast terror into their hearts. Wow. Some of them you slew, and some of them you took captive, and He bequeathed to you their lands, their homes, and their possessions together in the land you've never trodden. And here's the thing. If I bring this up as a contention, I know it's exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to bring this up as a contention against Islam, and they're going to point at, oh, but what about when your God did it with the Israelites? Was it good then? And it's actually a fair argument, but that's exactly what's going to happen. My issue is like, listen, if you want to do that, at least own it. Don't call yourself a religion of peace. Right? Don't say you're a religion of peace. You could say we're the correct religion, and yeah, we're a religion of war, but so far were the Muslims who killed them from fleeing any qualms that one of them, describing a return from the dead, wrote that they returned with the head of their victim. Wow. 5 honorable men, steady and true, and God was the 6th of us. This is so much keeping from the spirit of the pre-Islamic times that it's almost certainly authentic, but even if not, it shows the altitude of early Muslims. Muhammad Ahmadiyya, page 328. Dang. Well, let's go back to it. He's got his sources.
Wars, like we talked about, that's the 18th, 19th century with a bunch of Islamic pirates. That's really why we have the kind of...
And not endnotes. I'm trying to... it's not just Sam Shamoon's website. There's a lot of other contributors to the website.
Navy and Marines that we do. And this, by the way, also brings us to just a few hours ago. Suicide bombers carried out a series of attacks in Nigeria. 23 dead, over 100 injured. Because in the 20th century, they actually conquered MI6.
Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
A quick movie.
Roll credits. And we'll get to the founders here. So history, the founders, which would be Muhammad versus Jesus. But it's important to note, Christianity. Stephen, my name.
Listen. Yes, Jesus is the standard. Yes, he did found Christianity, and that is the way that Christian is supposed to be. Christianity in a confined space is the most peaceful religion that you're going to have in the facts of it being a religion. Obviously, we did things that we shouldn't have done as Christians. But the question is, was that political things? Were they political points who just so happen to be Christians, or were they Christians who, you get what I'm saying? The issue is that just kind of rejects the fact that we were also Jews at one point, and that wasn't a peaceful conquest. Now I think it was a justified conquest, but it wasn't peaceful. No, the land was taken by force, right? The harem.
If you were a Christian early on, you were killed, you were executed. Christianity spread exclusively through proselytizing, missions works, and
exclusively?
And cultural conversion. Islam, when it started, no known oppressor. People go, I don't know, well, what was this? Some kind of news? Okay, whatever. It wasn't globally known. Exclusively spread through conquest, through violence. Matter of fact, the perfect example would be the Reconquista there of Spain. So Spain, let me just use this as a very clear example in case you believe it's the United States. We are the reason that
I wouldn't say exclusively. Well, I don't know. Because were Christians involved in wars that were awful? Yeah, sure. But were those wars with the intention to spread the religion? I wouldn't say exclusively peacefully. I know First Nations people I've met personally who are involved in what are they called? Schools. The specific name for schools, and those schools they tried to force the religion upon them, and they didn't want it. And those people were not put in those schools peacefully.
Islam is violent. Spain became a Christian nation. How did they become? Not through violence, through a literal
residential schools. Thank you. Yeah, residential schools were terrible. Terrible. But yeah, one of the reasons that my grandmother, she was pretty anti-religion, not anti-Jesus, but anti-religion, was because of how the residential schools treated her. Now, she wasn't First Nations, but not the residential school, but like Catholic schools.
And through people converting. Then you had the Muslim onslaught who took over large swaths of land. And the Reconquista was finally Christians saying, you know what, we're going to take this back. At first, we did it peacefully through conversion. There were no notable acts of Christian aggression or expansionism until the advent of Islam.
Okay. Fair enough. Now I should listen to what he has to say before I make opinions. That's actually maybe a reasonable point. Was there any Christian war before the Crusades where they really tried to push? I don't know.
which was violent from the moment it was created. Every single century since then. It's the only way it has spread.
Muhammad was literally a warlord.
Yes, at the tip of a sword. Which
yeah, he was 100% a warlord.
Brings us to the founders.
Yeah.
Did Jesus Christ ever kill anybody? Did Jesus Christ ever wage a war? Did Jesus Christ ever?
Yeah, no, Jesus Christ took out 2 people. Yeah, he took out 2 people. Book of Acts, my friend. Book of Acts, just wiped them out.
Call for.
I mean, technically, he is the God of the Old Testament. The angel of the Lord took out 35,000 people, and we all believe the angel of the Lord was Jesus. So technically, yeah, he did.
Never-ending war, jihad, or specifically to kill those who subverted the book, namely Christians and Jews. I know you'll find some verses, and they're going to say, actually, they say we respect the people of the book. No, they don't. And I'll get to that in a second. Did Jesus do any of those things? No. Did Muhammad? Yes. Now take that. Founder, go, okay, then how did Christianity spread? Oh.
Now, if we're talking about somebody walking around as like a human person on earth, no, Jesus obviously didn't do any of those things.
They were murdering Christians. They were
but that's a category error.
Executing them non-violently is how it spread. Islam, they weren't being executed. They weren't being martyred exclusively violently. The left wants you to start history with the Crusades and those on the horseshoe right, whatever the.
Now, it's definitely not a religion of peace. The Quran specifically says, fight them into submission and then make them pay the jizya. And it's like, well, yeah, of course. If they don't fight back, we'll be peaceful and we'll protect them. And they actually pay less money than us. All great. Phenomenal. So generous and kind.
Dissident right. Anyone who believes that if you just left the Islamic world alone, if you never poked the bear, you'd be doesn't understand the actual.
Yeah. Okay. Tell that to Europe right now. Just leave them alone. They're just, you see what's happening over there. I would not move to Europe. No.
Ideology, theology, none of it. Philosophy, political prescription. Let's look at Muhammad. This is from at Taba 929. Fight those who do not believe in Allah and the last day, nor comply with what Allah and his messengers have forbidden, nor embrace the religion of truth from among those who were given the scripture until they pay the tax, willingly submitting, fully humbled. So yeah,
it's almost like I mentioned that. Now they'll argue that there's a context that they were at war and they were kind of like defending, and then they were commanded to do that. That's what they'll argue. But it's supposed to be a clear scripture for all people for all time without any questions. Doesn't seem like that when I read it.
You have the history. Every single century, you will not find an exception. No acts of notable Christian aggression until Islam. Hey, have they changed their stripes?
It's literally like Sylvester Stallone in Tulsa saying, if you give me money for your business, I'll protect you. I know that's terrible. That's terrible. But it's better to try and fail than to never try at all.
Let's go to, 88% of deaths related to terrorism, terror deaths, are directly attributable to Islam. 97%, while you talk about the United States, if they left us alone, 97% of terror attacks occur outside of the Western world. So you may say the 3% is because of the United States. And that doesn't mean, by the way, that we haven't screwed up in the Middle East. I just believe that we screwed up for different reasons. We don't know the enemy that we actually face.
Can we give a little props to this guy though for starting the Change My Mind movement? Because he started it, and so many people do it. Like I use the forerunner probably for what Charlie Kirk did and for like what all TikTok debates are doing. Like he pretty much like, hey, this is what I believe. Can you change my mind? Like he's the guy who got it going.
It's barbarism. It's Islamic barbarism. Okay, that's 3%. Now do the 97% of those dying at the hands of Islam.
No, sometimes it's better to not try. Fair enough.
Today, more real world data. 198 Muslims worldwide, it's just a small number, support the use of violence against civilian targets to defend Islam. 190.
Yeah, I am so against papers. I know that sounds bad, but I've read papers. Like I remember reading a paper specifically on why Christianity actually has more violent actions. It's the most violent community in the world. I read the paper and everything lined up in the paper. And then I've read other papers that says Islam is. And like what you were saying, Striker, I don't know if you're still here. You got to go to that.
I literally just went back.
Yeah, you got to go to that specific page on a specific paper and figure out how they got their data. And usually it's like one thing. So like that one paper we looked at for the Aisha debate was like, it's like they said women's pelvic bones grew more in the past, that they are actually maturing faster. And then their source of information was one male pelvic bone.
Yeah, literally. I mean, every study that's conducted, generally 9 times out of 10, you're going to see that the around the end of the study, they're going to say, "This is where we messed up." And
Yeah.
that's what you have to look for.
Yeah. So I got a big issues with people citing studies and papers because like you can find a study in a paper that agrees with you on almost anything, and most people don't read it. They just like, I have study, agree with me, abstract says, conclusion says, therefore I say, and you can't refute me because you do not have study. This is why I prefer just going through deductive logical systems, because if we can just all agree that we have a consensus of this viewpoint through deduction or induction, then we don't really need a study because we can just kind of conclude this.
Did you ever read the study that for the like 1 in 5 girls are sexually assaulted on college campuses? The one that everybody cites?
No. What is it? What's the thing where they said they messed up?
I have to, I'm going to go get you the full list.
Yeah.
But it legitimately is a massive joke because it's like, if I recall from memory, and this is from college, this was over 10 years ago. It was like the study was conducted via anonymous online polling. You'd go to a website and you would get to decide what happened to you, and you'd check the boxes and you would write whether or not you were sexually assaulted or not. So the determining factor was not by the study conductors, it was by the people. And since it was anonymous, you could put in multiple entries.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you guys a story, and you guys tell me if I was sexually assaulted. When I used to do hippity hop, stood on stage, did my song. There's no one in the crowd. One girl comes up out of the crowd, walks straight up. I was wearing sweatpants, grabs my member. Was I sexually assaulted?
Yes. But definitionally, yes. But up to you. You could say yes or no.
I could say yes or no. That also happened to me when I was bouncing. Another girl came up and just grabbed it. Now the question is, how many men do I know who've had that happen? I've known quite a few working the bars. They've had their ass grabbed or the junk grabbed or whatever grabbed by women. By women. So I could probably say, if we're gonna like do like this, then there's a whole problem of men sexually assaulting women based off of anecdotal testimony of like what you consider sexually assault. Then I can also say the same thing for men. I think it goes both ways. The problem is I agree, and there's something I agree. There's a power dynamic, right? I don't feel threatened when a woman. Here's another true story. I'll give you another one. Granny grabs. Let's talk about granny grabs.
I do have the list, by the way, when you're ready.
Okay, let me finish the story, then you do it. Granny grabs. So I did security for a security company, and I was pinned up in a grocery store, right? Because people steal food. I'm an asshole stopping people from stealing food. Get over it. There's this lady who always came in, and every single one of the security officers have the same story. She's a sweet little old lady, comes up and she just starts chatting with you. And I love chatting with little old ladies. One of my favorite things to do. Love it. So we're chatting away. And then all of a sudden, she just tries to reach down my pants. Not grabs my junk. She tried to open my pants and reach down it. Out of the blue. And I told this story to the other security officers, and they all said that it happened to them as well. And we called her Granny Grabs. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing to do about like any sort of level, because I know I'm ridiculously handsome. So maybe I'm like the exception. But no, every one of us, sexually assaulted by Granny. The old reacher. Now, should anybody ever be grabbing on anybody? No, it shouldn't be happening. But I'm saying it's a two-way street, my ladies and gentlemen. Two-way street. No, you're just using your anecdotal evidence. Well, if Stryker is correct in what he's saying, so are you. Go ahead, Stryker.
So here's where all the issues with the study. The original researchers have said plainly that it was based on only 2 large universities, and that was it. And that was meant to encompass the entirety of the United States. So I think they only had a sampling of about 1,000 or so people. The sampling bias is they openly said that, well, obviously people who are going to respond to the study, because no one was required to. You volunteered. Yeah. So people who responded to it were going to be people who were sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
And the definition of what sexually assaulted was legitimately along the lines of like, were you ever touched in a way that you didn't want to?
Sometimes I slap my wife's butt and she gets mad at me.
That would be sexual assault.
Oh, damn.
And then last but not least, it didn't identify whether things were occurring on or off campus. And of course it was anonymous.
Oh yeah. Great. Yeah. That's my problem with studies, man, is they have conclusions, but you got to look at the data. You got to look at and that's the thing. That's what annoys me when I go like a gospel apologetics. I'm like, look at all this data that says that Jesus Christ resurrected. And they're like, that's not enough. That's not enough. But then they believe these papers where it's just like 20 people's anecdotal experience. And then, yeah, that's enough to convict everybody to say that there's a huge problem in the world. That's enough. That's all we need. People look at conclusions. They look at what the scholars agree on, but they don't actually look at the evidence. Again, remember how they concluded that Yahweh had a wife, a pot. They found a pot from one group in one time period with Yahweh holding Asherah's hand. That was the evidence. But that's enough to convince everybody that 110% that he's a Canaanite god, and they all have a connection to Asherah, and every single Jew worshipped Yahweh and Asherah and his wife together. And they completely wiped it out of history. And we have no evidence and no actual pieces of papers that said they did it, because they all wiped it out of history with Josiah. We can make those conclusions because we found a pot, but we can't make the conclusion that Jesus Christ resurrected with all the data we have of that. Can't do it. Can't do it. You need to go debate the New Agers again. Huh?
And if anyone wants to know what you can get out of what John is ranting about, when everything gets blown away in the apocalypse, your fan fiction could be discovered by future historians and become canon. So if everyone drew pictures of John, but he was a foot taller.
Yeah.
Future historians would believe John was 7 feet tall.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Hey, listen. They could find, big Han Solo or big Han Steele. I'm really messing up now. That account, and then just assume that there was a whole other sub account or sub religion that worshipped John from a different perspective and literally thought I was the character from Star Wars. Because they have enough data to be proved that, because they have a picture of me as Han Solo. That's all you need. That's all you need.
But don't you want to be remembered as Han Solo?
No, he's kind of a whiny douche.
Wow. All right, you know what? You don't need to fire me. I'll quit.
All right.
78 million.
I'll die on this hill. The prequels are better.
I don't know what to say to you.
The prequels are better.
Well, the prequels are better than the originals, or prequels are better than the sequels?
Well, everything's better than the sequels. They're better than the originals.
I think that it changes, because I don't think 2 was very good. 1 is great. 3 is fantastic. And 5 is good. Like,
I tried to watch episodes 4, 5, and 6 several times, and I get so bored I never finish. I can honestly say I've never watched them in completion, because I either get so bored I don't finish, or I get so bored I trail off and do something else, and then I'm half focused, and then I come back to it. And I've tried to do that several times. Anakin is Anakin's absolutely a whiny douche. But I have definitely watched the sequels more than once and enjoyed them front to back. And the only reason I ever got on board with the train that they suck is because I fell to the population all convincing me, all gaslighting me that it sucks. So then I just jumped on board with everybody else. But now I'm a grown-ass man. I make my grown-ass man decisions by myself in isolation. They're better. I've always enjoyed them more. Out of all the Star Wars movies I've ever watched, the prequels are the ones I actually enjoyed watching. Now, as a collective, all the Star Wars movies suck.
I don't know if I can still be here.
Star Wars as an idea is phenomenal. The Knights of the Old Republic is my favorite Star Wars narrative that's ever been given, period. Star Wars concepts have been great. There have been great Star Wars games, great Star Wars comics, great Star Wars books. I haven't read any of the books, but there are great ones out there, and I know that. But as a collective, the movies all sucked. With them being just good, some of them are good, right? So like the sequels or the prequels are good, and the first sequel is good. Actually, you know what? The second one wasn't too bad either. I kind of enjoyed it, but the third one was trash.
Yeah. Question wasn't if they're American. The question wasn't whether they're isolationists or not. Do you support the use of
Clone Wars was amazing.
The TV series or the movie?
The TV series.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic.
A bridge too far. Unfollowed. Blocked. Reported.
Fair enough. You're entitled, but hey, listen. If somebody ever is like, "Hey, I'm never going to talk to you again," but they give me $20 before they do it, I'm on board.
Violence against civilian targets to defend.
What?
I said, Chad, if you want to betray John, I just want to tell everybody that I've been to Disney twice. I've built a lightsaber 2 times, spending $600. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's wrong. Don't listen to him.
You're a Disney adult?
I'm not that kind of Disney adult. I'm going again in August, by the way.
Oh my God. L's in the chat for Striker.
And Islam. 198 million Muslims say yes. 50-something million Muslims say often. Still believe that if we left them alone, it's because we're killing their people? Now also do them killing far more of their own women and children than we ever have. We've got to have a basis in truth. We can have disagreements. But if you say, well, Iran's never attacked Americans, you don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't justify, like you've said, a never-ending war. Of course not. But don't lie and say they never attacked Americans. They've killed thousands of Americans on many separate occasions, and they've sworn to do so until their last dying breath. You may not think that we should intervene. I think that's appropriate, man.
I spent $600 on plastic swords, but I'm not a Disney adult. I love that woman so much.
Cases we shouldn't be intervening, but don't say that the only reason
$600 on my childhood dream.
Yeah, with Disney shit.
Any Muslims or any of these countries, these caliphates, are violent toward the West is because of something we've done. You have to go back to every other nation pre-America. What did we do? The Barbary Wars. What did we do to have a bunch of Islamic pirates attacking vessels? It's silly, and the people espousing this are hoping that you are dumb.
Are the Islamic pirates attacking vessels because of Islam, though, or are they just doing it because, hunger?
Here's another one that I think is interesting. That Caleb Hammer, who has the financial audit show, here he is with some Islamic guests, and it's fun that he seems to be a bit on the spectrum because he just says it.
I always question the Bible, and so...
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what we should have watched today, man.
You missed this?
I saw clips.
This
but
was
honestly,
so
that's
funny.
what we should have watched today. What is it, 2:30? Do we have enough time to go? Because this is kind of boring. We could jump to that.
What time did you want to go till? You're 3? You got time.
Can I see your super chat? Oh yeah, sorry about that. Would I start to date someone and potentially have children with if there was a good chance they would die in the next 10 years? Depends on who it is. If it was Abby, absolutely. 100%. 100%. I would marry Abby again if I knew she only had 1 year to live. And then when she died, I would just jump off a bridge. Problem solved.
Glazing his wife.
Just telling the truth. Just telling the truth. All right, I'm gonna watch this because that seems more entertaining than I meant to actually react to that so many times, and I just never actually got to it.
We're here because of him,
What?
okay?
Are you sure you're allowed to speak out against your husband?
Islam.
What?
Yeah, to your prior point, a lot of times when people, especially in America, like on Crowder, when they're talking about like, oh, are they doing it because of the Islam? I think they're more so referring to like the culture that Islam comes out of, more so than the actual religion itself.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So this is Caleb Hammer talking to some Muslims.
We're here because of him, okay?
Are you sure you're allowed to speak out against your husband?
Islam is probably the most like feminist religion there is.
The Middle East.
It is.
Middle Eastern countries that are most well known for their...
I think that's all because of media portrayal.
What?
Yes. Yes, it's media.
She said in her pre-interview that he needs to hear financial advice from a man because he won't listen to a woman.
You are more open.
Bruh. That's so good. That's so good. We're very pro. The problem is Islam has all these like what do you call it, like catchphrases, but then they change it. It's like, oh no, Islam absolutely is against child marriage, and then they just change the definition of what a child is. Oh no, Islam is very pro-woman, but then they change the definition of what it means to be pro-woman. That's so bad. Oh yeah, Islam is very pro-woman. Well, your husband didn't want to talk to a woman for financial advice. That's so good. That's so good.
Been to advice when it comes from your male friends. So I thought maybe Caleb.
That doesn't mean a man. My friends who are male.
So they're all men.
DollarWise is finally here, sending waves through the personal finance 33% directly to you. Download.
Hi, I'm Celeste. I'm 29 years old, and we're from San Diego, California.
And this is Financial Audit.
Yes, it is. It is Financial Audit. Mohammed, what do you do for a living in San Diego, California? My dream city if it wasn't so.
I'm an applications engineer.
Okay, please make money. What do you make? Please make money.
Like my salary?
Yeah, what do you make?
$91,000.
Okay.
What? $91,000? What are you doing on Financial Audit, bro? You should be set. You should be set. If I made $91,000 solely by myself, I wouldn't complain about money ever. My goodness gracious.
Okay, I'm happy. Listen, San Diego, very expensive. Basically, it's literally, if you don't know this, it is factually, statistically, the best weather major metropolitan area in the entire world.
Nice. Lucky us.
Jealous. Actually jealous. Okay, very good. What does that break down on a per paycheck basis or per month net?
Per month net is about $5,200, I think.
Okay, cool. Listen, San Diego, that's still going to be hard to live off, unfortunately, alone.
That's true. San Diego, hard to live off of. Here you go, Stryker.
Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Warriors of the kingdom, brothers in arms. I see within your gaze the same dread. The same dread that grips my very soul through the smoke and crimson fields. Our banners torn, our armor.
All right, we got to end it before because he's going to start taking little clips and he's going to try to edit them all together, get the whole song.
This is a married?
Yes.
Married household. So what do you do? What is it? Celeste for a living.
So I am a healthcare coordinator.
Okay.
Wait. You messed up already, son. You're a Muslim. You're not actually, if you make $91,000 a year, your wife's not supposed to be working. That's your job as a Muslim. That's this was written. Your wife's not supposed to work. You're supposed to take care of them. They're supposed to be your property.
I make about $31.50 an hour.
Yeah, San Diego. Okay. Yeah, what hits your per paycheck or per month basis?
Granted, they are in San Diego, but freaking move.
So right now it's $1,700.
How many hours are you working? A week?
30 hours a week.
Well, if you know that's not enough from the looks you're giving, why aren't you working more?
Just medical stuff.
Morbid obesity?
He's so savage. He's so savage.
No.
Well, what else?
Anxiety.
I have anxiety.
He's so savage.
Panic disorder is crippling. I work 50 hours a week.
Well, I'm also a mom and I'm a full-time
Okay,
student,
well, that would be more of an answer. Okay, both of those would be more of an answer.
Yeah, I have insomnia. I'm not making excuses. I work 40 hours a week. I'm just saying.
How long have you guys been married?
A year and...
How's the kid?
4 months.
He's 7.
One kid?
My goal is to make at least an average of $10,000 a month. I made my goal last month, but this month I might fall short. That's the point of goals, man. Listen, because we never know what our income is going to be because our income is completely dependent on you guys, on how generous you want to be to us. We have goals that we need to set, and then we also have savings funds that are specifically there for if we don't reach our goal, we can subsidize. So this is what you call a nest egg, right? So you have your account, you have what you spend a month, and then you have a nest egg. So like your goal is to make $10,000 a month. You made $10,000 this month, last month, great. Then this month you fall short, you go into your nest egg. Then hopefully next month you get like 15,000. You put the 5 back into the nest egg, and that should balance you out. And then throughout a year, you should average $10,000 a month because you have your nest egg and your savings. But making $10,000 a month is really good work, man. Really good work. People are like, oh, that's crazy. Well, if you really think about it, that's $120,000 a year. There are people who have salaries of that for sure.
Are you the sperm?
No.
No.
I'm a stepdad.
Right. What were you?
You're not allowed to be a stepdad in Islam. Do these guys not know their religion? You can't be a stepdad. You're not allowed to adopt children. You are not allowed to adopt children in Islam.
Doing?
It was just a bad relationship.
Relationship? Not a marriage?
No, it was not a marriage. Actually, he was not planned.
Shocked.
Yeah, we broke up, and then I found out I was pregnant.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You've been engaged 3 times.
Yeah.
Wait, how are we even confident that this 1 year in marriage is even going to work, honestly, engaged 3 times? What are you doing?
I mean, it's been good so far. Like, there's nothing...
It's been good.
Have you ever met a Muslim that knew their religion? Yeah, Daniel Hakikachu.
So far?
Yeah.
Wait, okay. I mean, you're wearing, like, the special outfits.
Before you get triggered, this episode was filmed before the war in Iran. Buckle in.
So I'm assuming... we're in the Muslim area of religion.
Muslim area, yes.
Is that right?
It's not an era, no.
No,
it's not
area, because there's also, there's like Sheik and, no. Wait, what am I thinking of? Nah, I don't practice them, but when you get into the mountains, it gets a little exciting.
The Buddhist monks?
No, not even Buddhism. Oh, there was this one guy in high school. We all used to call him a terrorist.
Oh, it wasn't me, right?
He wasn't a Muslim. He was just another one. Very peaceful religion.
I mean, they're all peaceful if you think about it.
Are you saying that we're not peaceful?
No.
Statistically, it's just of the least currently practiced ones. I'm not saying you guys aren't. I'm sure I know the vast majority are. But I mean, if we have to pull a stereotype out of
if we're gonna go into that, Caleb,
I'm not trying to go into it. I wasn't saying that. I was just like, I didn't know if you were Muslim or one of the other ones that sometimes looks Muslim but isn't Muslim. But you are Muslim.
Yes, I am Muslim.
Okay. Well, actually, I make fun of all stereotypes here, but I'm not freaking out about anything. I'm not accusing you.
We're here because of him. Okay.
Well, that's great, but I have a question about you. You've been engaged 3 times. How do the Muslims feel about that, of your parents?
That's allowed. Yeah, the divorce and not wanting to is completely allowed. Perfectly fine. You can do that. You can do temporary marriages if you're just horny.
I feel like they wouldn't be so happy, especially bred out of wedlock.
Well, I wasn't always Muslim. I was actually raised Catholic. Well, not Catholic.
She doesn't know either one. She's wearing a hijab for a man. I'm telling you that right now.
The Muslim.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little more rare in Western culture.
It is, but
okay.
I love it. I love being Muslim.
Sure.
Why? What? Same question I'm asking. What about it? What makes it so great? What's so great about being a Muslim? What's so good about it? Why do you want to do that?
Why? What are the perks? What are the benefits?
Salvation.
Okay. The overall big religion.
Yes.
Okay. So
because it's the truth, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. So true. So true.
So it's more what comes later you like. It's not the now thing.
No, definitely the now too. I always growing up as a child.
It is all the shawarma. Doc, I went to a primary Arabic speaking Christian church once, and on their webpage they had a shawarma recipe. I think it was no falafel recipe.
I always questioned the Bible, and so
you don't question the Quran.
Of course.
I think question everything. Well, I don't think you're allowed to question the Quran, especially as a woman.
No.
You're not. Nope. You're definitely not.
Definitely not.
I mean, come on.
No, it's not that. No, Islam is probably the most feminist, most religion there is.
Yeah, so feminist that if your man feels like you're being disobedient, he can withhold sex from you and then lightly discipline you if we're going to use he can lightly discipline you if we're going to use the Islamic apologetics. And if according to what is it? Is it Bukhari or Muslim? Anyways, it comes from the Prophet Muhammad. It's Sahih Hadith. Literally says that if you do not engage your man in sexual intercourse, you will be cursed by the angels until the morning. Is it the morning? Anyways, you'll be cursed by the angels. There's literally afterlife punishments if you withhold from your man. So if you're just not in the mood, you're just not in the mood. If you ain't feeling it, if you're a little sore, whatever it might be, you can't say no because you'd be cursed. Such a feminist religion, such about the women, that a woman cannot come defend herself or give testimony because she's deficient of mind. According to Muhammad, deficient of mind, of but half of a man. For they require 2 women's testimony because of that. That if your parent dies and you're a woman, you receive half the inheritance of your brother. Because your brother has to take care of people and you don't.
Very much protective of.
Yes, it is certainly Middle Eastern countries that are most well known for their feminism and freedom for women.
It is.
The Middle East.
If they're practicing Islam, yes.
So you're saying they're all practicing it incorrectly everywhere, including Mecca?
I mean, if they're oppressing people, of course, yeah.
Then they're doing it correctly?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't live there.
No.
So.
Listen, I wasn't even trying to talk Islam. I was just trying to go off of your engagements, and I didn't know you converted. But I mean, to say that the Middle East is the most feminist part.
Dude, your debate with Orthodox Muslim was so good. I don't know if I brought that up, but it was so good. You guys should go subscribe to Lamb Apologetics if you want some Phil Bro Christianity.
The world is curious.
Well, she didn't say the Middle East is the most feminist.
She did.
No, she said Islam,
of which the Middle East is the home of.
Yes.
I mean, Indonesia is the most populated Muslim country, obviously, but the core where it spread from in their colonization efforts was from the Middle East.
Colonization efforts?
Well, all religions colonize, absolutely. This is one of the more recent ones.
I mean, Indonesia and even the Philippines at one point, I mean, that was by Muslim traders, right? They just went over there.
Yeah, sure, but when you push into Africa, and especially Spain.
Yeah, okay, yeah, there was an empire. There was an empire, all right.
There was an empire, and the Christians did it back. All bad. Not a big crusade guy. I don't really like killing in the name of religion, either way.
No, yeah.
It's not what the Crusades were about. It's not what it was about. They're being suppressed, and they didn't want to be suppressed anymore. Everybody gets their idea of the Crusades from the freaking movie. We're gonna force everybody to be part of our religion with the sword, and nobody ever looks at the fact that the other opposing side was Islam. Oh, but they weren't trying to force a religion with the sword. It was just Christians. What data do you have for that?
But you're telling me women are more free in Islam than any other religion?
I feel like.
Listen, I'm converted to Islam. I don't care. Islam's fine. I don't have a problem with Islam as a whole. But when you come here and you say it is the best religion, most feminist religion for women, you're gonna lose me here based on everything we see in the literal world.
I mean, it's
with the most theocratic regimes being Islamic right now, with the least freedoms for women and most violence against women than any other countries.
I think that's all because of me.
I don't read books, Lamb. I don't read books. I just get all my information from TikTok. What are you gonna say?
I said I'm back, and also, what are you, my brother?
What?
That's also where he gets all of his information from.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Media portrayal. I don't genuinely believe that's the type of.
What?
Yes, it's media.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the fact that
She's got a point. There's a lot of propaganda in media. Like, you can't, just to trust media is like a difficult thing to do, because everybody's going to have biases, and it's going to be pushed through. It's not that they're lying, but they're going to portray the things that they find interesting, right? So if you go to if you want to show that, people are being oppressed in a Near East country, you're going to go to the Near East and you're going to videotape the people being oppressed. You're not going to videotape all the people not being oppressed. No, that doesn't mean that they're not, or that she's right. I'm just saying you got to be careful. Just because media says so doesn't mean jack shit.
They are.
I trust nobody.
Portraying these countries in a certain light, and that.
So when women had a lot of freedom under an oppressive regime that was Western focused, dictatorship in Iran. Don't get me wrong, not perfect, not purely defending Western, or Christian, or anti-Muslim. That's not what I'm doing here. But when they had that, women could go to school, women could work, women could go outside without wearing the outfit.
You're talking about
the media also said, what happened as soon as the Taliban took over, what was it, Iraq? They implemented all these anti-women institutions. They couldn't go to school, they couldn't go to work, they had to wear the hijab. There was this whole thing. And It's like, well, there's one specific small terrorist group. Oh, sure, fair enough, but all their ideas and beliefs come from being Muslim.
Iran.
Iran.
So women don't work or go to school there? Check your facts, Caleb. Work
You
and go to
think
school.
they have
Yeah.
the same freedoms they had before it became a theocratic regime?
Well, by freedom, what is your definition?
Oh, in Afghanistan. Yeah, it was Afghanistan. See, again, I'm not too familiar with world politics. Let's see. Can women work in Iran? Let's look at Wikipedia. This article is the status about women's during the late 20th century, 21st. In Iran, women's rights have changed according to the form of the government ruling in the country. The attitude towards women's rights to freedom and self-determination have changed frequently. With these rise, each government series mandates. The rights of legal status of Iranian women have changed. This is not telling me anything. According to 2017-20 Women Peace Security WPS Index, Iran ranked 1 out of 16 out of 153. That's not good. In terms of legal discrimination, the World Bank's database Women, Business, and Law lists 23 restrictions in Iranian law on married women. This includes applying for a passport, traveling outside the country, choosing where to live, and being head of the household. Women cannot get a job or pursue a profession in the same way a man can. They cannot be insured of equal pay for equal work, and there are no laws to restrain gender discrimination in hiring. The WS report states here, are no laws that penalize or prevent dismissal of pregnant women from work, nor are there laws that provide rights for paternity or parental leave or tax deductible payments for childcare. The Iranian Civil Code confers power on the husband to prevent his wife from taking any job found by incompatible with the family interest of dignity of the husband or his wife. Women have no legal protection against domestic violence or sexual harassment by anyone, and the Constitution has no discrimination clause with gender protection. Oh, but you got that from Wikipedia. Well, let's go look at the source. That's 2, Women's Peace and Security Index. This is the source. What were you doing, Iran? Let's look at worst. Wow, Afghanistan, Yemen, Central African Republic, Syria, Syrian Arab Republic, Sudan. Wow. Is there a correlate between all these guys? Is there a correlation between these worst countries for women? Is there some sort of connection between all these that seems similar between Afghanistan, Yemen, Central African Republic, Syria, Sudan, Haiti, Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan, Cameroon, Somalia, Pakistan, Madagascar, Palestine, Nigeria. Well, Nigeria is a Christian country, primarily. New Guinea, Iraq, Liberia, Ethiopia, Bangladesh. How do you say that? Guinea? Gambia, Kenya, Mozambique, Malawi, Colombia. Wow. Well, Colombia is like primarily a Catholic country, isn't it? Mexico, where's Iran? Congo, Uganda, Zimbabwe, India. That doesn't shock me. Philippines, Iran. There it is. 128th out of 181. Yep. Yeah. Egypt. Let's see if we can find any Muslim countries in the best. Let's see if we can find any Muslim countries in the best. Denmark. Isn't that atheistic? Denmark's religion. Christian nation. Denmark is a predominantly Christian nation with secular culture. Iceland. Iceland's highly secular country with freedom of religion. Belongs to the state Evangelical Lutheran Church of Iceland. So it's primarily Christian, but no formal religion. Norway, Christian evangelical religion. Sweden, let's do Sweden. Sweden is largely secular society with high religious diversity, where majority, around 53%, still belong to the Church of Sweden, Lutheran. So Christian again. Finland, let's do Finland. Are we seeing correlates here? Finland is a predominantly Christian nation. Oh, wow. Luxembourg. So Luxembourg is historically Catholic country with diverse increasing secular population, while Catholicism remains the largest faith. Adherent has declined with roughly 48 to 50% of the population identifying as Christian, mostly Catholic. Wow. Okay, now let's flip it. Let's do... Do we need to look up Afghanistan? Afghanistan. Afghanistan is an overwhelmingly Islamic country, 99.7%. Let's do Yemen. Yemen is an overwhelmingly Islamic country. Central Africa Republic. Predominantly Christian. Okay, so we messed up here. The Central African Republic is a predominantly Christian with roughly 75 to 89% of the population practicing Christianity, mainly Protestant Catholicism. Okay, so we messed up in that one. Syria. Let's do Syria. Syria is a religiously diverse country with approximately 87 to 90% of the population adhering to Islam, with only 10% adhering to Christianity. Let's do Sudan. Sudan is predominantly Muslim country. Haiti. Let's try. I think Haiti is Christian. Haiti. Haiti is a deeply spiritual culture, predominantly Christian, with strong Sunnitic practices. Haiti. So we messed up again there in Haiti. Congo. Predominantly Christian in the Congo. Messed up again. Burundi. So the question is it the religion or the location? Predominantly Christian. South Sudan. No, we already did Sudan. That was Muslim. Myanmar. We got some of the best and some of the worst. Buddhist. I wasn't expecting that. Primarily Buddhist nation. Black Christians is not really Christian. Dude, relax. What, are you saying that satirically or seriously? If you're serious, you can get lost.
That women can go out naked or what?
Naked? How about just not wearing the outfit without getting beaten and
they
locked
get
up?
beaten and locked up if they don't
the
wear it?
morality police? Yes.
Oh, okay.
What? Yeah.
There's 2 Congos, by the way. Fair enough. My mistake.
Again, this is not an anti-Muslim thing I'm talking about. But when you are going to come here, I'm sorry, this conversation is derailed out of the gate. Usually it derails a little further and say it's the most feminist. That goes against everything that everyone can see with
It's not the most feminist. We just looked at that.
their eyes right now in all countries. In Saudi Arabia, they just got the right to drive a couple of years ago. A literal couple of years ago. You would be beat in Iran if you took the scarf off.
No, I mean...
What, you get beat in San Diego? Is that what you were about to say? I don't think that's the case. I don't think the American government has officers around beating you for not wearing certain...
Oh, you're from one of them? Okay.
...things.
Not necessarily in that regard, but...
Not at all in that regard, actually.
I think what she's saying is the media had a certain portrayal. No. The media had a certain portrayal.
What was that portrayal?
And then she met me, what you're saying right now. And then she met me.
Well, but what I'm saying is true in those cultures, in the theocratic regimes.
Those cultures, but not Muslims. Here's the thing.
I know you're Muslims, not. She's saying that culture is the most feminist, but those states that are led from Islamic principles are the least feminist states in the entire world.
Well, it depends on what you...
Well, we just looked at that, yeah. But, hey, listen, man. We also got to be correct, too, right? There are quite a few Christian countries that are on the bottom of that list as well, and they need to come correct. They need to fix themselves. What made me very proud is there's quite a few Christian countries on the top of that list. So it seems to be secularism and Christianity is kind of up there for that.
Say about Islamic principles as well.
I didn't see any Islamic countries on the top of the list.
Oh. They say they're theocratic.
They can say all they want. That doesn't mean they actually
are practicing
do it.
The principles.
Okay, well, are we...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He doesn't back down. He doesn't back down at all.
We're going to do the whole thing that Christians do with shellfish and a bunch of shit like that? Or we pick and choose what we like depending on our world values?
No, Christians don't do that. No, you got to read the whole book. Literally in the book of Acts, it says the Christians don't have to adhere to that law. It literally says that. Read the whole book. Read the whole book. The whole book says you do not have to worry about the law because you are not a Jew. You are a Gentile. The only thing you have to worry about, don't eat blood and don't sleep around. Those are the 2 things in the law that were given to us. It literally says in the whole book. Not that we're ignoring it.
Because you guys are more Western?
No, but here's the thing. This is what I'm going to say, okay? Because I think what she's trying to say is this. When we started...
Are you guys in debt?
We're in so much debt.
Okay, then you're not following Islamic principles.
That's true.
Then what the f*** are you going to tell me?
What am I going to tell you? What?
Well, you're not following it then?
We do our best. It's not about just being perfect.
There it is.
Well, it is. You do the best you can. But
that's why you go further.
Read the gospel to you in that voice, John. For Jesus so loved the world. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life.
Into that, that's doing the best you can.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
We're failing on that front.
I don't care that you reverted to Islam. I surround myself with people who have Islam. Like we've had people that...
It's not Islam. It's Islam. We don't pronounce the is. If island, there's no S in island. If you don't pronounce the S in island, you don't pronounce the S in Islam.
Work here that are Muslim. I don't give a about that. I don't really care. As long as you don't shove, just like Christian, as long as you're not shoving it down someone's throat, I don't give a But what you said...
Damn right I'm going to shove it down somebody's throat. You ask me, hey, what do you do for a living? Preach Jesus. Now, submit to the cross. Say Jesus is Lord, or I'll throw you off a building.
About women is dangerous because women are being oppressed and killed.
No,
and as someone that actually wants freedom...
I'm not
for
saying
women,
that those aren't real
happening across
things.
the entire Muslim world.
It's not just Muslim world. It's happening throughout the entire world.
No, but that is by the Muslim-led countries where the religion is the state. Objectively. I mean,
Are there any theodic countries, Christian theodic countries? I know there's Islamic theodic countries, but...
Only one.
What is it?
The Vatican.
Well, that doesn't count. It's like...
The country.
I mean, it is technically a country. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you got me on a technicality.
Sorry, objectively. And Western values are a good thing. I know there's this...
But hey, listen, depending on what standard you measured, you could say that the Vatican is very oppressive towards women because they don't allow them to be in any sort of leadership. So where would it fall on the list? Actually, the Vatican should be on that list. Hold on. Let's see if we can find that history. Here it is. Yep. Vatican, because it is a country. No, it's not there. I don't know. Did I spell Vatican right? No, you have to capitalize it, John. It's not on the list. It should be there. I would have loved to have seen that. That would have been great.
This big, crazy anti-West happening right now in our culture makes no sense. So where women can be free and do what they want. That's not a bad thing. And you get to do that here as a Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
That's not anti-Muslim. Again, I want to be very clear. So you converted for him?
No.
Oh, well, when did you convert?
3
I only converted for Abby. Oh, so they tell me.
years ago.
Okay. So it was before you met him?
No. It was 2 years ago.
So you didn't convert for him?
No, not at all.
Of course not.
I chose this faith because I believe in the values of it.
Okay.
And
well, that's good.
I mean, he introduced
the values, just like any religion and any religious person, the values you're picking and choosing for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Same. I only pick and choose the values I want out of Christianity. I don't adhere to all of them. I definitely don't pick things that make me uncomfortable, or I don't really want to adhere to on a daily basis. Like, forgiving people I hate. Like, I definitely don't pick that. Like I'd rather just, I throw that out the window as a religious person, because like forgiving people that I dislike, I'm just not going to do that. So I pick and choose the parts I want. Right. Definitely don't pray for my enemies either.
It would be
Same
pointless.
thing for Christians, trust me.
I mean, it'd be pointless to revert if
I want to go on this show and I want him to ask me about Christianity and just cook. Just absolutely cook, because I know he knows jack shit about it, the religion. He just knows what everybody says online all the time. I would love... The problem is, I feel like me and Abby are pretty good with our money, so we would never have to go on this show. But I would love to do it, and then him just like bring up Christianity and just roast him.
If it was for him.
Revert.
Oh, convert. Sorry. We believe that everyone is born Muslim, and
I hate that so much. I hate. Oh yeah, we're reverts. Everyone's born. Like we're just gonna take all babies out of the womb based off nothing.
Influences of the world make us not, and whatnot. But
yeah, I was born a Muslim. 100%. When I was born, my parents, they're like, wow, look at all the Islamic values our child just inherently knows and understands and completely comprehends. Let us program that out of him, even though we don't care. Like my parents didn't give a rat's ass what I believed in. Like if I wanted to be Muslim, they would have been fine. Go ahead. There's a season where I was like, I'm a Buddhist. I didn't know anything about Buddhism. I was like, I'm going to drink tea and pretend to pray or pretend to meditate. Sorry. They're like, all right, go for it. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. Society programmed it out of me.
Yeah, I converted to...
Theo doesn't want to hear it.
I'm listening.
That's a good point. So Islam is the biggest apostate religion. That's a valid point.
This is a little silly, but...
I don't think it's silly. Why? My
It's like, you can't put that on me. You can't tell me I was born Muslim.
Well, it's not like...
Remember when I said I'm okay with everything until you shove it down someone's throat?
Yeah.
No, that's not what I'm...
I hate that too. That saying, I'm okay with everything until you shove it down my throat, as secularists shove secularism down everybody's throat. Oh, yeah. You can believe in what you want and do what you want. Just don't tell me what to do and believe as I tell you what to do and believe. Because just telling people, like, they don't understand the irony in saying, don't tell me what to do and believe. I hope you guys who like have a little bit of critical thinking skill that understood the irony as soon as I said that. Don't tell me what to do and believe. Don't shove your beliefs down my... Are you not shoving your beliefs down my throat by telling me not to shove my beliefs down your throat? Is that not a belief? You believe that we shouldn't shove beliefs down your people's throats, and you're telling me not to do it. So you're shoving your belief down my throat. They do not see the irony in that. When I said Google Gaga, my parents said, look at his first Arabic words. That's good.
The reason she said revert is this. Okay. So it's called the fitra, right? It's the idea that we're all born with the innate disposition of believing in God, a creator.
Okay, I don't give... Okay.
Awesome.
Based.
Good. I'm just trying not to get too off track immediately because we are 20 minutes in. Who knows how much of this has stayed in so far. But listen, okay, so you didn't convert for him, apparently, allegedly, maybe. No. But definitely it was when you guys met and before you got married. So you have a kid. So your parents are not Muslim. So they don't give a fuck.
Listen, Caleb's wrong on that one because I was atheist when I met Abby. And if you look at all the data, you can make an argument that I converted for Abby. Like a lot of people did. Because it was quite the coincidence, right? It was like I wasn't a Christian and then I became a Christian. And then right after that, I started dating Abby and we were friends before that. Like if you just look at that information, you see a correlate and you can say there's a causation. But I promise you, on my life, on God, that was the last thing on my mind at that time. The last thing on my mind. Now, I came to Christ because I wanted a relationship with Jesus. And then it just so happened that I had a really good friend who was also in a relationship with Jesus. And we really knew each other and everything just made sense.
Your out of wedlock thing, but you do.
No, my mom did, definitely.
I just simped for Abby. Oh yeah, I was a total simp back then. If Abby will tell you how much I simped over her when we were just friends.
She was Christian, so I mean, she loves my son. So,
okay. Why are you saying she doesn't? My goodness. Okay, jeez, I just thought it would be controversial based on the garb. Oh yeah.
I mean, I feel like.
So you're saying you're on here because of him? What is that? Are you sure you're allowed to speak out against your husband? Sorry. Continue.
I mean, technically not, but I mean, yes, we are here.
You should see the episode where Caleb talks to two Christians who said Catholics crucified Jesus. Oh my goodness gracious. Dude just spent his time beating me up and making fun of me. Can't simp for your own woman. Well, she wasn't my woman back then. Wasn't my woman.
No, we're here. I genuinely think he's hiding things from me. I think he's not telling me everything about our debts, or at least what his debts are. And
well, I mean, that is if you guys believe in the Sharia law version. Are you Sharia?
Trigger warning 2.0. Before a performative YouTuber complains about Caleb being an Islamophobe, also sent them this video titled, He Just Sucks, where he did the literal exact same thing to a Christian guy for being a hypocrite about his own religion, and this couple for being crazy about their religion.
Yeah, we're going to watch those. We're going to
Sharia just means the path, right? Mm-hmm. That's all it means.
So if we're the actual specific law itself?
What?
The laws that it constitutes?
I think it's best if you don't take interest-bearing things out. Yeah, of course I do.
He can have 3 more wives?
Technically, yes.
And you're okay with that?
Hell no.
Oh, simp for your wife. Don't simp for somebody who's not your wife. If you simp for somebody that's not your wife, you're pathetic. Pathetic. Don't do it. I've done it. I was pathetic too. All right. But simp for your wife. Because that's all you get. So you should simp for that because as a Christian, divorce is not on the table. So you should simp for your wife and your wife should simp for a husband. Because that's all you get, bro. That's all you get. The idea of like not simping is because, oh, I'm a grown ass man and I have options and I'm not required for you for my fulfillment. But once you're married, bro. Two become one. You simp for each other, bro. I have no choice, John. I don't want to get my ass kicked. Fair enough.
No.
Well, then you are not following. I thought you reverted.
It's
it permits. It doesn't require you to marry up to 3, but it does permit. That is verse 4:3. That's what they call them.
You can have a marriage contract, and then she can say, "Hey, I will divorce you if you marry another wife."
Yeah, yeah. Of which, by the way, you saying it's all his fault in 4:34. He is allowed to strike you as a disobedient wife.
I mean, me saying
you're okay with that?
No, that actually means to go on strike. That's what it actually means. I've actually had a Muslim tell me, no, it means to go on strike. That's what it means. You don't know Arabic.
That's not. I can go into this all day if you really want me to, but we would go down.
Well, he is allowed to. He's not required to, but he is allowed to.
No, that's not how it works.
Okay.
It literally is. It literally is.
To you, but for most experts that have gone through it.
No.
Including the hadith. The hadith literally backs us up. The tafsir literally backs us up. All of it says that you can strike them. My favorite thing is I saw a TikTok where this guy refuting somebody. He's like, obviously you can't hit your wife. You should read. And he puts a hadith on the screen where Muhammad condemns the people who beat their wives, but also permits them to do so. He says you're allowed. He said you're allowed to do it. Literally on the hadith on the screen. Post it. He's like, you're allowed to do it, but all you guys that are beating your wives are not the best of men. And he's like, see, so clearly you're not allowed. I'm like, you freaking dumbass. Literally on the screen that he posted right behind him, and everybody ate it up. Oh yeah, thank you so much for backing up. He wasn't a Muslim. Thank you for so much backing up Muslim. He's just like a woke guy who is defending Islam. Like, oh, we need to defend this minority religion. They need to be protected because they're being suppressed by the white Christian man. I was so mad because like TikToks get views and people eat it up and they never look up the data. The data was on the screen behind his head where it literally said, Muhammad said you could beat your wife. And everybody was eating it up. Obviously you can't beat your wife. I spend too much time on TikTok because like the more I spend on there, the more I'm convinced that the average IQ needs to be lowered. It really needs to be lowered. There's no world that I should feel smart because I'm a dumbass. But I walk amongst these people and I'm like, wow, am I a genius amongst fools?
Okay. By the way, in this conversation, this is very important as of Quran 2:282. A woman's testimony in financial matters is actually worth half of that of a man's.
Dang, it's almost like I brought that up earlier.
So you're actually only able to speak on half of what we're about to do. The rest he has to do. Because we're doing the Sharia version, so we have to be very literal. And we have to follow the rules, as it said, because we revert.
He's like, let's look at his face, look at his face.
That of a man's. So you're actually only able to speak on half of what we're about to do.
Well, let's look at that again.
Of that of a man's. So you're actually only able to speak on half of what we're about to do.
He's so satisfied with that. He's like, see, and then like watch him look at her. He's like, yep, satisfied. Look at her face. She's like, ain't no way. Like, look at this, look at this. He's like, that's a sign of like, yeah, I agree, 100%. And he's got a point. And then she's like, oh shit. And then this is almost like he's going to look at her in 2 seconds. The way that, when you know how couples argue sometimes and you say they give a look when something happens, like, oh, I told you, they're giving that look. We can all tell what's happening. Everybody knows the look. It's going to happen here. Watch it.
The rest, yes.
Right there. Watch it. I'm going to say we're pause on time.
Only able to speak on half of what we're about to do.
That's the look. There it is. The I told you so look. Tell me I'm wrong. That's the I told you so look right there. 110%. She's like, shit, what did I sign up for? This is like that whole story of the guy who's like, oh yeah. We had an alcoholic in our community. We were trying to convert him to Islam. This is Sheikh who told this story. It's like, we're trying to convert him to Islam. And so like, but he wouldn't convert because he refused to stop drinking. So eventually we told him, oh, you can keep drinking, come to Islam. And then he did his Sharia. And he's like, oh, now you must quit drinking. He's like, no, I'm not going to quit drinking. He told me I could. He's like, no, it's against Islam. He's like, well, I'm going to leave Islam. He's like, you can't leave Islam because then that's literally what he said in the quote. We'll pull up the video one day. But I feel like that's what's going on here. She's like, shit, what did I sign up for, man?
Rest he has to do. Because we're doing the Sharia version, so we have to be very literal. And we have to follow the rules, as it said, because we reverted and we care about the values, because it's the most feminist thing ever. So you can actually only speak on half of this. Your value is only half, unfortunately, when it comes to finances. And you had a son, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Are you guys going to
Oh, yeah, Shahada. Sorry, you're right.
have any daughters?
What's that?
Are you guys going to have any daughters?
I mean, hopefully.
Well, they can only get half the inheritance, actually, legally.
Hey, listen. Damn, see, everybody thought I was lying. Well, none of you guys thought I was lying, but there it is. I just like feeling validated when I say things.
Sons, they get 100%. Women, they actually can only get half.
Now, there is an argument for that. If I'm gonna be like try to steal man, there's a good argument for that. If it's for the time and for the people, the reason that they get half is because the men were responsible for taking care of the family. They had a whole family to take care of, where the woman didn't. That was the idea. So that's why they got half. That actually makes sense. Is it right? You can argue about that, but I'm just saying that has like a logical consistency to it.
I really hope you never revert, because then he is actually required to kill you.
No, that's okay.
Yes, actually, that is
you're just reading stuff. You're just reading stuff, and you don't understand what you're reading.
Researched and through people that are not in the religion, but actually study from the outside without having the bias of being born and raised in it, and then have that disproportion.
I haven't looked into that. I've heard a lot of people say it, but I haven't actually looked into it if they can unalive you if you leave the religion, outside of the sheik saying that.
And because their faith, and just like anyone in Christian, who I do not rely on to actually speak about Christianity, because they are so full in it that they actually can't think critically about their religion.
Yeah, that's also an asinine way to look at things, right? Are you going to tell me that people who are non-religious don't have certain biases? For example, some secular guy who thinks that all gay people should be allowed to marry and live their life however they want is not going to look at a text in the Bible that says, hey, gay people shouldn't be allowed married, and say, and I'm not going to have biases against it, right? The whole ars nocoite argument. You're going to tell me that those secular scholars didn't have any biases when they tried to make the argument that that was specifically for young boys? That obviously early Christians were okay with consensual male partners, obviously, because he's just condemned the ars nocoite. There's no bias there at all. Like I'm saying, oh, obviously Christians are biased. They're going to only look at things that are pro-Christianity, and the people who are not Christians are also biased. It's almost like the people who are convinced of Christianity being true become Christians, and all of a sudden their points become invalid. It's the stupidest thing in the world. It's like, oh, you're not a Christian. You spend all this time researching, then you become a Christian, and then everything that you research becomes invalid because you're a Christian. That's literally how it works. They do legislate apostate laws per the tafsir. Like I said, I haven't looked into it, but I'll take your word for it because you seem smarter than me.
That same thing happens for people within Islam.
Why do you think I'm hiding debt anyway?
Why?
Yeah.
Nothing
So yeah, what's up with his debt?
So he likes to buy statues.
Of Muhammad? Probably not.
That's not allowed.
What?
Can't have those. Okay, what statues are you buying?
Okay, well, I'm a movie guy, a comic book buff, so Predator, Aliens, Terminator.
Oh yeah, those things are expensive as hell, but like the fact that you need to go on a financial audit for buying like a statue of like a Predator is crazy work.
Is this not against his religion?
No.
Having these statues is not iconography?
No, iconography isn't having a statue, bro. If that's the case.
They can't have pictures of family in their houses. You can buy Batman statues?
They can't have pictures of family? What?
Like, no, literally, no, you can't have images at all.
Really?
Dead serious. Images are haram.
Well, they don't know shit about their religion anyway, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely haram what he's doing. He can't do that.
You remember that time that girl came up to tell me how great Islam was, and then she had a dog?
That was legitimately really funny.
That yeah.
Wait, I was, by the way, of the one live that I participated in, I was there.
That was wild.
Batman,
You're in
Superman.
debt for statues?
I am in debt for statues.
What is our numeric debt for statues?
Legal? Maybe 50,000.
Turn the video off. Bruh. Send him to jail. Debtor's prison needs to come back.
I'm so mad because he's got $50,000 of debt for statues, and me and Abby are trying to figure out how we kind of financially set money aside to buy a bed right now, so I can get a better night's sleep.
This guy's son.
We're trying to balance our money so I can buy a bed, and I feel like I'm being frivolous because I already have a bed. It's a trash bed. I'm like, I already have a bed, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be frivolous a little bit and buy something I don't really need to get a new bed. And we're talking about maybe getting a nicer vacuum because our vacuum doesn't suck. So, and then we're like, oh my God, we're spending too much money. I'm thinking about maybe getting some stands for my desk so I can stand up and improve my back pain. And I'm like, damn, I'm spending too much money. Too much money. This dumbass $50,000 on statues. get an ND, it's all right. I need something better than all right. I like, again, guys, I have horrible sleep issues. I really need to try to improve everything. Better pillows, better bed. So
50,000.
Well, that's 25,000 hours to you. But yes.
I don't think it works that way. I don't think it's half the debt and half the inheritance. I don't think that's the way it works. That's funny though.
What the? That's crazy. Why? Why 50,000 for statues is insane. Show me one of these statues. Can I see one of these statues, please?
You want me to pull one up?
Well, yes. If we're $50,000 in debt for statues, and you just marry this woman, yeah. Can I? Sorry, I don't want to go back to it. But listen, do you feel because of the faith that you have that you?
I felt terrible marrying Abby. Where I had a $3,000 debt because I lost my job and I was living off my credit card for a little while. I had a $3,000 debt. I felt terrible for that. Imagine pulling somebody into a relationship with a $50,000 debt on statues. That's crazy.
Can I address something in the chat really quickly?
Go for it.
All right. So we were discussing images being haram in Islam. That people brought up movies. I shit you not. They are moving pictures, so it doesn't count. I'm dead serious.
Can they read comic books?
No.
Can't read homo. What a great religion. Can't listen to music. Can't read comic books. Can't have pictures of your family. Can't have a dog. And you have to wash your butt with water. It's not, you can't eat it.
Or rock. You can also use rocks.
Or a rock. Yeah.
You don't need to have this conversation with her?
No.
Okay.
You keep going. You said it wasn't the faith thing.
I had to
ask. It seems like you're really...
No, I had to ask if that was your perspective.
No.
And you're saying no, so I believe you. I trust you. Again, I have absolutely no care in what you guys believe.
Okay, but I care when people believe the wrong thing. Okay, and you believe a lot of the wrong things because you don't understand. I could go through it with you if you'd like. Not here, but maybe another time.
Let's see the statues. It's very
my
exciting
phone
statues.
is not
it's connected to Wi-Fi?
No, I'm not.
Mine's connected to the Wi-Fi.
Is that pictures of his statues?
Foldable phone.
Yeah.
Like people had those.
Google?
I'm not going to lie. I want a foldable phone.
Chrome?
Oh, he sent me a link.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, let me see these. Okay. Are these like human size? Where are you putting them? I mean, it's cool, I guess. Do you have like a movie theater in your house? Dude, they're like three.
Listen. I'm not against people. If you have excess amount of money, spending spending on yourself, but there's a certain extent where it's like you are being greedy. Like you're just like, if you're buying like maybe one or two, it's like I really like it. I want one or two. This is really cool. But outside of that, you're just being like, if you got a whole $50,000 worth of debt on freaking statues, my goodness gracious, man. My goodness gracious. Like you are a greedy human being. You're one of those people where it's like, it's harder for a camel to enter through an eye of a needle type person than for a rich man to enter paradise. We could live off those statues. Could live off of them. But like I can even understand going into a little bit of debt for something that you enjoy. Maybe you really like, listen, we got a car. We're in debt on a car. Right? But we need a car to get around. We make our monthly payments but that's technically a debt. And if we can't make our monthly payments, we'll sell the damn thing. But statues?
The deluxe bonus version?
I have
like 3,000.
I have the deluxe bonus
They're in
version.
storage, Caleb.
How much debt did you think it was?
30.
But like, I get it, man. Like I spent $100 on a video game. Did I need a video game? No. Could that $100 have gone to something more generous? Absolutely. Like I get it. So how do you quantify? How do you quantify when somebody's spending too much? Obviously with the debt, that's quantified, but.
You were okay with that?
No.
What are the financial conversations that happen in this house?
You could buy 2 cars with $50K. Well, it depends on the car, right? Like I think our car was 40, something like that. But we did the math, and because we're not using a lot of gas, it actually ends up being cheaper because of the gas, because it's a hybrid. So it ended up being less than if we got a gas car for cheaper.
Without the striking.
Usually I'm the one who initiates them, and we talk about it. And yeah, we have certain numbers. We use the EverDollar. No, yeah, we use a free version of like the Dave Ramsey one.
Okay, well that's the thing.
Yeah, I listen, man. We went from spending $500 a month on gas to like 40. Is it white? Yeah, it is white. We didn't get to pick the color.
The hybrid is one of the best purchases I've ever made.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Doesn't get the kilometers that they promised us, but yeah, we were spending $500 a month on gas. That's what was happening. So that's why it balanced out. That's why it made sense, because that's how much our monthly payment is. So it ended up being about even. And then we had a car that didn't break down when we drove somewhere because it overheated. That was the thing we were worried about.
Is because it doesn't automatically connect to things. It requires your manual shit. So it's just so anyway. So like, I'm going to do that. I mean, okay, listen, you guys get dollar-wise for free forever now. So
how much you spent on electricity? Not much. It didn't change our electricity much at all. Really didn't. Maybe 20 extra bucks a month or something like that. It is not much.
Americans, you have to realize your American audience does not entirely understand the conversion rate from Canadian dollars to American dollars.
Oh yeah. So like $500 Canadian is about $250 American.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like half, which is great. So, cause sometimes when you guys pay me, I'm like, oh, we only made like $300 and then we convert it. I'm like, I'm rich.
But just use that. It's automatic connection. So that's good. But, okay. So you use that and then what? Which requires manual entry for everything, which is horrendous, but please.
I mean, it's just a way
that's
to
just hard to track. Yeah. I know, but that requires you to go through it on a daily basis, dude.
Yeah. That's a good point too. Cause like what is, let me just say
$250 on gas, guys, is not a lot. My fiance drives an SUV. She spends about $40 a week on gas to drive. There's 4 weeks in a month. That's
okay.
$160.
Yeah, so let me put it in perspective for you Americans, because I'm like, we drop $40,000 on a car and we're making monthly payments. In Americanese, that's $28,000. So that's
right,
so
Noah
yeah.
in chat. What are you driving to spend $600 US a month in gas? Are you driving a tractor trailer?
Probably just a lot of in-city driving. Probably like an hour commute there, hour commute back. So yeah,
I drive an hour every day.
I could buy 2 cars with the amount this guy spent on statues. So whoever said that, you are actually right. I could do it because that's $50,000 American he spent on statues. So I could buy 2 cars with that. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You?
No.
So do you actually track correctly?
Probably. I mean, yes, we do. I mean,
okay. So when she brings up the financial topics, what actually happens?
I tend to walk away because I am not good. No. Listen, I'm not good with money. Okay, so
wasn't that what conversation's for?
Yes, but it.
All right. Do they talk about Islam anymore? If not, we can end it.
Not really.
No,
you kind of got it all.
That's kind of it. That's kind of it. TikTok owns her? What?
Like people pleasing and like.
Oh my God, I hate you. Such a baby. Nothing is just on you.
No.
It all has to be these micro diagnoses. Stop. Advocate for yourself. Be an adult. So what? You give him that okay to get a house?
She goes back and forth. So it's like one day she'll be like,
so where are we today?
We're gonna get a house.
How many miles did we put in? We got 10,000 kilometers on it since we bought it. Do the math. You guys do the conversion rates. Yeah, 10,000 kilometers is what we put on. All right, so we got, we can go back to that Crowder video because we don't have much time to start a new endeavor. Yeah, well, lots of people have, like, I don't think people know what it's like to live in a city a lot of times. When I lived in a city, yeah, it was about an hour commute to work every day. Hour commute there, hour commute back. I'd have to take my car, drive it to a place where I can get on the train because I wasn't going to park my car downtown and pay the money it cost to park, and then get on the train and get to work. And it took me about an hour and a half every day to get there, an hour and a half every day to get back.
Like, I
don't question the Quran.
Of course.
What's that?
It's about 6,200 miles.
There, yeah, there you go.
I think question everyone. I don't think you're allowed to question the Quran, especially as a woman.
No.
He likes it.
I mean, come on.
He's like, that's right.
No.
Middle. Yeah.
Yes. We all remember those Islamic propaganda posters going around the Middle East for feminists. Yeah.
That's taking it lightly.
Applejack, what the hell are you doing?
This is my goal. This is my goal one day. Do you see this studio? Like this, I want this one day.
That's taking it
this.
lightly.
This is my dream. I want to have a studio and a team, and I want to put on an excellent show. That's my goal. Instead of me in my office doing my thing, even though there's a little bit more intimacy with that. But I want the goal of this. That's where we want to be, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we want to be. And we want to give people jobs, and we want to, yeah. I would love that.
And you got to stop firing people.
Aren't you, what are you doing here? Weren't you fired?
I was literally messaged by your wife directly and said, John said you can come on the co-host.
I'd never told her that. I never said that. I just said I opened the thing for the co-host.
You guys are gonna have to go on to that show and talk about your finances.
Oh yeah.
Applejack, what the hell are you doing?
Lunch. Was this an ad?
Grilling?
A placenta?
He has it. Everyone here you well know, by the way. It's much up. We need we will make up, but it's just .com. Of course. You're good. And I'm not talking about.
And then you could take your private jet to DebateCon. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I would never want to own a private jet, but I'd love to fly in one once. But then I know how because I watch that private jet TikTok. I fall into that all the time for some reason. Probably because I talk about it a lot. That's freaking so expensive. So expensive. As much as I hate flying with a passion, but I don't think I could drop $30,000 to just fly one way one time. I don't think I could do it.
Traditional, patriarchal systems that exist as they do with all the Abrahamic religions. Islam subjugates and abuses women by mandate. Okay, so let's go again through history, the founder, and then real world data. Let's look at the 7th century. Muslim forces, they were capturing, taking sex slaves with permission from...
That's true. Yep. The Quran literally says that you can have sex slaves. The Hadith say you can have sex slaves. That's perfectly fine. I even talked to a Muslim once that says, what's wrong with sleeping with your sex slave because they're your property? What's wrong with that? You own them. Why is that wrong? I had that conversation. That's a real conversation I had with a real person that actually exists.
Muhammad. That was their calling card.
2 weeks ago?
What's that?
Didn't you put that video out 2 weeks ago?
No, that was the guy talking about Numbers 31. I put that. I didn't put that because
he said sleeping with your slave was a good thing.
Oh, maybe he did. Yeah, maybe that was but I actually didn't cook that well in that video. The only reason I put that video out is because he was so creepy. I wanted people to see it. Because I have better arguments for Numbers now.
He literally did say that it was a beautiful thing to sleep with your sex slave.
He did. Oh yeah, it's a good thing to marry them. He said to marry them, to have a slave and marry them. That's a beautiful thing. But I wanted it because that guy, because we were talking about it. We were talking about how some of these people I talk to literally have Disney villain laughs. He had a Disney villain laugh. And he almost sounded like he was carrying chains. He was so creepy. I just wanted people to walk through that with me. I didn't want it. He was so creepy.
All the greats have their calling card.
Adults.
What's that?
Just like those Disney adults.
Yeah, they're really creepy.
Took 1,000 virgins as slaves from Spain to Damascus. 21st century, ISIS kidnapped thousands of Yazidi women and forced them into sex slavery. Let's go. Okay, this is by the way, again, in a way that is not seen in the Western world. I know people have told you that unconditional surrender means our guys are going to enslave your women and rape them. It was actually a mandate, policy, and prescription from Muhammad during war to do that.
Spoils of war for the troops. Come on.
Also, outbreed. Yeah. Right? Take their women and outbreed them.
Yep.
It was never reach people with the gospel. Evangelize. Evangelize means you present people with good news. Hey, look.
But Numbers 31, you see, he's a hypocrite. You see, his own God confirmed it. You see. Obviously, it's allowed. You see. That's all they do. They just point at other people and say, "Oh, all these other people do it, so we're fine. You do to do it. You're all hypocrites. You're all hypocrites."
Here are your benefits, and here are the terms that you have to submit to if you want these benefits, like any other deal that you make, effectively. Islam is called to subjugate. It's all by force. That's why women are sex slaves. That's why they're called to do it. Let's go back to the founder. So we have history of the founder. We have this from C. Al-Bukhari.
Yeah. He had 9 wives and he'd give it to them all in one night.
5:134, book 67, hadith 70, that the Prophet Muhammad was married. The Prophet Muhammad married her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old. Hisham said, I have been informed that Aisha remained with the Prophet Muhammad for 9 years, meaning until his death. To be fair, he only humped her thighs from 6 to 9. That is not in dispute.
Yeah, I don't know about thighing. I tried to find information on it. I couldn't find nothing. No actual good solid sources about thighing and whether that was a real thing and a real practice. But then again, I'm not familiar with Islamic sources and how to find it. They're very secretive about their shit. They really tuck it away and they don't translate. There's a lot of things that are never translated ever to English. They just don't. There's more hadith that are straight in Arabic than there are English hadith.
All Islamic scholars or imams will have to tell you that's the case.
Yeah, but the bright side is when she turned 18, she was free.
Right, effectively.
As used goods, come on.
Let's look at Quran 4:34.
I wouldn't say it that way.
Men are in charge of women by right of what Allah has given one over the other, but those wives from whom you fear arrogance, first advise them, then if they persist, forsake them in bed, and finally strike them. And then you'll have a Muslim say, like, oh,
No. Gently discipline them.
That's really just because, if you can't strike them hard, it's just enough. Okay, when you put together the totality, child brides, arranged marriage, women being treated as sex slaves. Let's add up on top of that. You can have temporary marriages, so you can have that loophole with the hookers. You can marry someone, divorce, gone. It is all designed around not a union, but pleasure for the male and subjugation of women. It's not the same.
No, to be fair, again, I like to steel man and I like to be fair. Even when I dislike or disagree with somebody, I like to try to find fair ground and actually derive the truth. I really do. As much as people call me a liar, I really look for the truth. As far as I know, and I looked into, a woman can also divorce her husband, right, for sexual say the word. You know the word I'm trying to say. So if the husband's not meeting up to his standard, the wife can leave him. So there is some sort of balance there. Doesn't mean they're equal, but there is some sort there.
People would say red pill or traditional patriarchy relationships where the man is the head of the household who is to protect.
No, you're typing it just because I know what the word is. I just can't say it all of a sudden.
To provide for the wife. And yes, she is to submit to him in all things.
How's he going to do that when the courts don't treat her equally or when they're allowed to beat her? Good question.
Because he's the leader of the household. That's not the same as a sex slave to be taken and used at your convenience and beaten.
Does she need multiple witnesses for that? I don't know. Yeah. Why didn't you just leave when you're abused? Fair enough. Yeah.
And it's okay if they're 6 or 9. Let's look at the real world data. Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, Qatar. You look at these different countries, they allow child marriage. The girl has reached puberty.
Now, listen, again, I have the papers on these. There are a lot of Christian countries that have this data too. Now, Muslims are going to eat that. Oh, your own Christians. Yes, they're wrong and they shouldn't do that. It's not part of our religion. Inadequacy. There we go. Got it. So, yeah, they're wrong and we condemn them as well. So if you're going to say, oh, you see your own Christian countries. Yes, they're wrong. They're wrong.
And by the way, they're a little, it's more of a guideline than a hard and fast rule. Women keep getting younger and younger and Muhammad keeps staying the same age.
Oh my God. I had a friend a long time ago. Now, he's just got a really dark sense of humor. It's not actually his mentality. But just like the difference in humor back then, like I remember he dropped us off at high school and he's like, you know what I love about high school girls? I keep getting older and they stay the same age, and they drove away. And we thought that was hilarious at the time. And in retrospect, man, that was pretty messed up joke. No, I know the guy. He's a good guy. He doesn't mean anything by it. He just had a really dark sense of humor, but like, my goodness gracious.
They require the women to marry whoever their male guardian tells them to. These countries facilitate domestic violence through laws. And then the other thing is, this is why you also see a lot of cousin marrying. Pakistan, it's up to 70%.
Jeez. But you see, in the book of Numbers, God gave the one-time permission that you can marry cousins. So therefore, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that you ought to do it because God one time in the book of Numbers said that you can marry your cousins, that you could take them from within your own tribe. So therefore, it's a good thing. You see, it's a good thing to marry your cousin. I'm going to cook you. You see, your own religion says so.
Wolf. UK Pakistanis are 59%.
I know that quote's from a movie, yeah. He's just quoting that movie, but still.
That comes with a laundry list of hereditary diseases, right? Now, why would that be? Well, because a guy wants to bang his cousin. It doesn't matter if she doesn't want to bang her cousin back.
She's right there.
Yeah.
She's always around.
Ask Rod the Christian about the thigh thing. I don't have his information. How do I ask him? I'll send a smoke signal.
For people to say, it's feminist. Look, I hate feminists as much as the next person, and I'm not going to say that Islam has us all wrong. The shared ground that we would have as far as roles of men and women, by the way, that would be the same in Judaism, that would be the same in Christianity. They add a whole bunch, to be clear. Also, this is another clip on that show where he was reminding them, these secular Western Muslims, by Islamic standards, that they're not practicing Islam.
Well, it
And if
depends
we're
on
actu-
what you say about Islamic principles as well.
They say they're theocratic.
They can say all they want. That doesn't mean they actually
Our practice
do it.
The principles.
Okay, well, are we going to do the whole thing that Christians do with shellfish and a bunch of shit like that? Where we pick and choose what we like depending on our world values? Because you guys are more Western?
No, but here's the thing. This is what I'm going to say, okay? Because I think what she's trying to say is this. When we
Are you guys in
started...
debt?
We're in so much debt.
Okay, then you're not following Islamic principles.
That's true.
Then what the f- are you going to tell me?
Wait, Muslims don't believe in debt? Well, then how can Allah owe them 72 virgins when they martyred themselves?
That's
You'd be indebted. No. Here's something I agree that I wish we still practice. Jewish law, you were not allowed, Mosaic law, you were not allowed to incur interest upon somebody. And the year of Jubilee, every 10 years, you'd have to wipe away debts. They were just gone. It was not held to anybody. So you could have debt, but you're not allowed to incur interest.
really more of like a party favor.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
Yeah, it's not a debt.
It's not a debt.
It's not a debt.
It's like a reward.
It's just a good time.
Okay.
It's like a reward.
Okay, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
6-year-old thighs are kind of like a reward.
Oh my gosh, it's disgusting. By the way, Caleb got one thing wrong. Christians don't pick and choose. The New Testament did away with the old dietary laws, so we follow the New Testament, not picking and choose. But anyway.
He's right.
Here's another claim that I see made a lot. So if you start with the false premise, they won't attack you if you don't attack them. Islam is not inherently a violent religion. Matter of fact, it's actually a friend to Christianity because they like Jesus too. Islam and Christianity, actually, we should be each other's best allies. Jeez. You see this from the guy named Stico. He wrote, "It is far past time we Christians and Muslims unite."
Are going to start saying it's against my religion to have interest? Well, yeah, but they're just going to say, well, we're not going to give you a loan then because it's against your religion.
And our shared similarities rather than fight over our minor differences.
I'm sick. I'm so sick of this. That Muslims are the only one pushing for it, and really stupid Christians. But they're pushing that. Oh, we should be unified together because we both believe in Jesus and we both believe in the prophets. And like it's manipulation at its finest. It's like it's like a guy trying to get in a girl's pants, and he's like, oh yeah, we both like country music and we both like skiing, so therefore we should unify together. But I forgot to tell you that I like to beat women. Yeah, I will never unify with Islam. I will never. I am an Islamophobe through and through, ladies and gentlemen, through and through. For Islamists, not Muslims, individual Muslims. Man, I judge each individual person off of them and them alone, not based off what sort of hierarchy stands above them. I participated in a 1 million person march of Christians and Muslims against gay stuff in schools, and I regret it. At least we're both against the gays.
They, meaning Jews, spit on Christians and bomb the Muslims. Why are we deceived into hating each other by those who hate the Messiah?
Them out there shouting, leave our kids alone. That's crazy work. You're so right, Abby. I never put those two things together. Muslims out there saying, leave our kids alone for anti-gay agenda stuff. But then they got Muhammad out there taking his member. I'm going to be vulgar with it every single time so that we could drive this home. Muhammad took his grown man penis out and put it in a 9-year-old girl. I'm always going to be vulgar with it and say, oh, he had consummated the marriage. I'm not going to soften the impact of what happened. Leave our kids alone. Well, your prophet at the same note.
Okay, so here's the truth. Again, we'll go through history. Allah and Muhammad disagree. They don't think that.
I know about Rob Christian. I just haven't. I'm not in contact with him.
We're greatest friends. Within 10 years of Islam's inception in Medina, they went to war with Christians and Jews. Now and then
dumbing it down disrespects the prophet. You see, it's like the word. Can you say just for TikTok terms of services? I'm not going to say it. Grape. We don't want to say the word grape because it might be triggering to some people. It lessens the impact of what happened to women who have been raped. It needs to be vulgar. People need to feel the visceral impact of like what has happened. We're trying to soften everything so people aren't emotionally triggered. Do you think the person who was raped was emotionally triggered when they were raped? Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't want to hurt your feelings. Like there's a certain severity that needs to be put out into the world. We need to understand the atrocities, but when you soften it, it makes it not as so vulgar. It's like when you call a child predator a map. Well, we shouldn't call them pedophiles. They're minor attracted people. big proponent of let it disgust you. Yeah, I'm never going to call them a minor attracted person, because then it softens the impact of what they actually do. What they do is they look at a child and they get aroused. They're a pedophile. I'll never soften that impact. That is what they are. Now, I want to be very clear on something with this. He's on Discord, FYI? Okay. So I want to be very clear about this. I actually, if it's true, if it's something that they're born with and they have no control about it, and they're just attracted to children because it's something built into them and they have zero control, and they never ever act out upon it because they know it's evil and horrendous, my goodness gracious, I have so much respect for you. But I still will not call you a minor attracted person, because we're softening that impact. Softening that impact. So if that is the truth, props to you for knowing something is evil and withholding on your urges. But we will never make a world where that's normalized or okay.
Forevermore thereafter. Islam is okay with Christians so long as they can violently conquer all of the lands that you culturally converted of their own free will. As long as you don't mess with their violent conquering, they can be buds.
Yeah, who was Jesus in Islam?
Yeah.
Why is his camera better than the main guy's? Like,
don't mess with their violent conquering.
His lighting, his camera, it's a bit fuzzy, a bit unclear. The depth's a little bit off, and then when we jump to this guy's,
they
watch.
Can be buds.
Yeah, who was Jesus?
That like
in Islam?
Crystal clear, perfect lighting, good depth, right? The back's blurred, everything is perfect on that camera. He's not even the star of the show.
Yeah.
Who's the Messiah? You don't believe he's the son of God. We don't have that much in common.
Well, let's go back to the founder. This is, I think it's Al-Ma'idah, Ma'idah 551. Oh, believers, take neither Jews nor Christians as guardians. They are guardians of each other. Whoever does so will be counted as one of them. Surely Allah does not guide the wrongdoing people. And what Muslims will do, and they're allowed to do this to mislead.
Yeah, that's so true, right? Because you see, you're actually supposed to adhere to Islam. The Quran is 100% against Christians being Muslims. 100%, man. We've given you each a code of law. If we wanted to, we would have made you one community. Let them be guardians over each other. Why do they come to you? They already have the Torah. There's so many verses that say they don't come to us. You're good. You're good. You don't need us.
You is they'll try and say, well, we actually respect the people of the book. We believe the Old Testament.
I really hate the born that way. The stuff like that. The studies are purely correlation causation fallacy. I have no idea. I haven't looked into it. Right there's that emotional argument. It's like, well, how did you pick and choose when you were straight? Well, no, I was just born that way. Well, it's the same thing with them. I don't know that. How would I know that? But from people I talk to that like are gay, for example, they all seem to agree that they just always were that way, as far as back as they can remember.
Testament and the New Testament. We add to it. We just don't believe the parts that were lied about and subverted. Whoa, what was that part? We just don't believe the part since because it was warped. But by whom? Well, the Jews, going back to when? The blessing of Abraham. So pretty much all of it. So pretty much 98% of the book, you really just use to point to and say, Jews and Christians are liars. They're okay. They're people of the book and they're your friends if they allow themselves to be subjugated by you. If not, kill them until your last dying breath. Now let's go to the real world. Muslims and Christians.
There's always childhood trauma involved, always. I don't know. You'd have to show me where you get that information from.
Should be each other's greatest allies. They never have, but they should be. Here are Muslims.
Is it better to vote for a progressive or a Muslim for a progressive? It's better to vote progressive. 100%. 100%. If I had to pick between a woke government and a Muslim government, I'm going to take the woke government every day of the week. A secular humanist government would far beat a Muslim government, because at least they allow for the independence, right?
Obeying Muhammad and the commandments of Allah. Looks like a Jew.
Wow.
Wow. More Jewish terrorists.
Yeah, this was so sad. This was so sad. I talk about this a lot.
Now, I've searched, and there may be one somewhere of someone who happens to be Jewish at some point in time. Couldn't find one example of comparable Jewish acts of terrorism against a church, tearing it down. Now, I know what people like Sneeko will argue. Well, like, that's because everything the Jews do is covert. They do it covertly. It's Mossad. Okay, so would that mean that Muslims also don't do covert ops? They only do the overt, where they destroy churches and attack Christians and execute them in public?
That's a good point. That's a good point, because like I said, I've told people all the time that I don't know anything about the war, so I don't speak about it. But I've never seen, personally, I've never seen a Jewish terrorist attack. Like, I just haven't seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I personally have not witnessed it happen.
The Jews don't do that, but they exclusively do the covert. The Muslims don't also do the covert? Because
I did see. Well, what did I see? No, I can't think of anything. All I've seen is that people talk about that they are committing a G-side, and they go over data of like, well, by definition, but I've never actually seen it. I don't know. I can't say there isn't, but I haven't seen anything.
I'm going to bet that they do both. And let's look at why this is the case. Look, I believe, obviously, Jesus Christ is the truth, the one and only truth, and I believe that hell is real, and I believe that if you reject the divinity of Christ, that's your cross to bear, and it's probably going to suck. Jew, Muslim, Buddhist, Tao, whatever it is. That's the belief of all Christians. That shouldn't be offensive, right?
Peyton, I'm very sorry that whatever you went through. That's terrible.
I'm also not worried about Jews being offended when I say that. So, with that being said, Jews.
But listen, I know people who have been assaulted younger, and they didn't fall into that sort of community. So I'd say there's a correlation causation fallacy going on.
The divinity, they don't acknowledge the divinity of Christ. Okay, we disagree there.
Again, we have to look at the data.
Here's why Islam is a unique problem. Okay, Jews, Old Testament. That's the basis of Christianity. They reject the sequel, right? The New Testament. Jesus came to fulfill the law. Okay, so when Jews have created societies, there are differences, but we still follow the same, generally, foundational law. It's not foreign to Christians because we genuinely do use and respect that part. The basis of the law, where Jews and us will find common ground, where we can actually live in societies together, even if they're a little too Jewy sometimes. Muslims, no, it's the opposite. They completely destroy the foundations of the law because the Jews and Christians lied about it. Let me give you the analogy that I've used before. Judaism is Halloween 1. Christianity, like, it was okay, Old Testament, we get it, Moses, all right, blessing of Abraham, we got, okay, Messiah is going to come. Christianity is Halloween 2. Takes place the same night. It's still canon, right? Halloween 2 in the hospital. We're like, Mike Myers continued. It's still the same storyline. And then Islam, they say they're an Abrahamic religion, but it's like Halloween 3, where you just go, Halloween 1, okay, it's continued Halloween 2, the Jews are not Halloween 2, but Halloween 3, what, masks as a form of mind control, and there's no Michael Myers? The hell is going on?
Don't know that reference. But I am sick of that whole everybody always coming out, oh, you're all the Mosaic religion. Y'all pretty much believe the same thing anyways. It's just from people who've never really looked at it. Islam, like the guy we had an argument with yesterday, he was trying to tell me that LDS is too far separated from Christian theology to be the sequel or to be what that parable of the wedding feast was actually talking about. But Islam wasn't. It's close. It's close. And then we made him pray the Our Father.
That was crazy. Church giving, everybody.
Oh my God. And they just have so much confidence in their bullshit. They giggle and laugh. They're like, they mock you. It's like, oh, you don't comprehend my bullshit. What an idiot doesn't comprehend he literally committed shirk. He prayed the Our Father, bro. That is shirk in Islam to call God Father. And he did it. He full on did it, which was crazy work.
The LDS were Trinitarians.
Yeah.
And that you were an idiot for thinking they were. I was like, brother, you stop doing this. Stop going on lives. You can't. You're not educated enough.
But what always gets me with the Muslim community is like that guy was so stupid. And then I see Muslims as soon as I kick them, oh, you only kicked him because he cooked you. Bro. That happens, like the Islamic community is so, I give them props because they always have each other's back, which is like cool, but they just refuse to ever correct one. Like a Muslim, I swear to God, could get on any sort of debate live whatsoever and fart into a microphone the whole time. And they'll be like, oh, he cooked. He absolutely cooked and roasted. Absolutely destroyed them. Like like the whole thing that's happening right now with Jake, if anybody's watching Twitter, like with Jake and Nick, is sad. It's actually Jake was one of the Muslims I respected as an Islamic apologist. And I've just lost it all because the dude will not stop this whole thing about like Nick's technically a heretic, which had nothing to do with the debate at all. He could have given a completely heretical viewpoint and still won the debate because it would have been logical, which he admitted it was logical. But he just nonstop over and over again keeps beating this dead horse. And the Muslims are just eating it up, and they do not care about the context or the source of the actual debate. They do not care at all. It's so, this world of debate and apologetics is disgusting. And I know it's not exclusive to Islam, like Christians do too, but I can't think of a single Muslim debater that I respect right now, that I actually have respect for. I can think of secular debaters that I have respect for, that I don't agree with, that I don't sit on the same page with, but I have respect for them because like I get what you're coming from and why you're saying it, why you actually believe in it, why you adhere to it and how you do. But I can't think of a single Muslim one, not one that I'm like, yeah, I would love to have a debate with that guy because I think we can explore the topic. Not like, can any of you guys think of one? Is there a single one out there that just isn't a piece of shit?
Junior.
But he's so stupid. But he's not a piece of shit.
He's the best apologist out there. What are you talking about?
He's the best Christian apologist out there.
Former
100%.
apologist.
Yeah.
I also don't entirely agree. I as much as I think there's obviously bad, like in the apologist community on both sides, I think Christians are far more prone to keeping each other accountable.
Yeah.
Like Pete, when you say something wrong, chat will be like, we don't
that's
agree
wrong.
with you.
But that's what Muslims eat up too. Is because like and sometimes Christians go too far, is that they're like, okay, Christians are wrong. They're like, you're wrong. But they go too far where they'll start calling out Christians on things they don't need to call Christians out on, like tertiary concepts. And they'll fight each other about that and call each other heretics. And they go too far on that. So there's a certain balance, but sometimes like you'll say something a little out of pocket and they'll put you on the right path. And I've had Christians do that to me all the time. And I've fixed myself. But if a Muslim sees you do that, if the Muslim sees you get corrected, they'll take a picture of it. And you see, even the Christians disagree with him. Even the Christians think he's wrong. Even the Christians are on my side. All of it is rhetoric. All of it is rhetoric. And that's exactly what Jake's doing right now. Is that rhetoric. He's like, oh, you see, here's this one Christian who thinks Nick is a heretic. So therefore he's a heretic. And therefore I was right in the debate and we can all laugh at Nick. Bro, even if what he said about the appearance of the flame technically being a heretical viewpoint, that wouldn't change his foundational belief about God being triune. Like you just pointed out a silly thing that, okay, he corrects that and then he can go back on a better path. And he fixed a little issue. Huh?
I don't even think Nick was wrong.
Well, and even in the debate, he says, well, I would say, like, he's just like, I think this is it. Like he didn't make an affirmative statement. He just said, I think this is the perspective. And then
that's also not even what the debate was about. He just smoked the shit out of Jake, and Jake had nothing else to go on other than you believe in uncreated birds or fire or something. That's all he had.
Yeah, and then Jay Dyer comes up and says, "Well, technically, yeah, they are uncreated." And then now it's like, "Oh, he's a heretic. You see, I was technically right." Now, one thing I will say. No, I'm not going to say anything like that live. Never mind. I'm going to pull back. Because that's going to be one of those things where it's like, I just think it's a minor, small thing that we could correct. And then like, if a Muslim clips it, they're going to be like, you see, he's even against them, but it's not even a big deal. So it's not even worth bringing up. But yeah, it's just like a stupid, and it was the same thing with, Orthodox Muslim and IP. As soon as IP was like, I don't think this is when the empire ended. Everybody's like, oh my God, can you believe that IP doesn't think that this is when the empire ended? He thinks it happened much. They didn't listen to the argument. They never heard a word he said in the argument. They couldn't steel man the argument to save their life. All they care about is he said something that went against the scholarly consensus that everybody already agreed on. So therefore he was an idiot. And then you watch literally Orthodox Muslim actually say, well, I don't know why they made that thing, but it's just when it's known. It's just when the historians say it. Actually makes an appeal to authority, and the Muslims eat it up. Like,
all Muslim debaters use the Texas sharpshooter fallacy.
Can you remind me of the fallacy?
Texas sharpshooter fallacy is to analogize. You have a sharpshooter and he shoots at the side of the barn randomly, and then after he's done shooting, he paints the target.
Yeah.
He says, "Look, I got a bullseye." So that's what happens: is the Muslims have their debates, they lose the debate, they find one point they kind of won on, and then they go on and tell their community, "Oh, the debate was about this."
Well, I had who was it yesterday? I had somebody try to come up. I don't know if you guys remember. He tried to come up, and I'm like, I'm not inviting you up. You were dishonest with me, right? This was a guy I debated years ago who lied to me about who he was, lied to me about how old he was, and then highly edited a clip. Then took one part where I said, okay, listen, man, I just don't want to talk to your kid, and everybody's like, he had a big fan base, and everybody's like, oh, you're just scared. I'm like, listen, if all you guys want to hear is he won, I'm gonna say, fine, you won, you win the debate, now move on. Then they clipped that with the video, and that video still keeps coming and making the rounds, and they never clipped the part where, like, at the end of the video, where afterwards, where I realized he was like a kid and I kicked him out, I brought up the point where we found the actual answer to the question or the problem he brought up, because I was originally unfamiliar with the problem. And then we discovered the answer that was completely removed. And so, like, that's what I mean about, like, the dishonesty with these guys, because that clip is highly edited, really paints me in a bad light, and removes the whole part where we discovered the issue to the problem. And then there's a big clip of me just saying, oh, you win. You absolutely cooked me. You win. That is Islamic apology. That's Islamic apologetics.
Do they not hear the sarcasm in your voice?
Well, I'm very monotone.
I don't know. I can hear it.
Yeah, but you're also more familiar with me. But for somebody who's not familiar with me, may not be familiar with the sarcasm. But the whole point with the rhetoric of me doing that was just simply to say, hey, listen, man, like, if that, like, all you want is a win, I don't care about an internet W. Congratulations, here's your win. I regret doing that, because that video still runs today. And every time I post something on Twitter, somebody goes, is this you? And post the video, and this you post the video. And it's like, do I really want to get into debate about what the actual context about it? Because they don't care. By any means.
Did you account for the fact that you worship Paul?
I worship Baal? What are you talking about?
Yeah, and three gods.
Abby's like, that's why I hate when you concede things. You have a point, Abby, but on the same note, like, it doesn't matter. Like, look at John when he says, in a sense, there are three gods. I wish he didn't say that, but he is not saying that there are actually three ontological creators of the universe. That's not what he's saying. They don't care. They don't care. They just care about the clip, care about the moment, care about the nuance to it. So I miss the days of, like, William Lane Craig debating like Bart Ehrman. Those days. I miss those days. Or like, who else can I think? Alex O'Connor's early debates, right? I miss those days where they were literally going through it and trying to understand it and navigating and have respect for each other. Now it's all just about that moment. Can you get that clip? Can you get that clip, that moment that makes that person look bad, where all the people who already agree with you are just going to post it? It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. I'm kind of on Trent Horn's side about this. Trent Horn's been talking about it a lot too. And he's like, yeah, I will only do 2 clips with somebody. Then after that, I'll invite them on and we'll have a conversation. Kind of on board with that. I'm going to watch the Mall Show. I don't know what that is. I'm actually shutting it down. What?
Darth Maul's getting his own TV show.
Is he? Yes.
Yeah, not live action. Like,
I don't
it's
care.
the mall from.
Don't care where it is. I'm watching it.
Yeah, it's good. That's good.
Yeah. I'll definitely be. He's one of the best things that came out of Star Wars, Darth Maul. Although,
As funny as the entirety.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say the entirety of my job is clip farming. When you like dumb it down to the most basics of all.
Fair enough. Actually,
I literally will take a single sentence out of a 100-page paper and go, "This is why I win." That's it.
This person makes a good point. You see, John agrees with Trent, therefore he's a sewing circle Christian. And that's the problem with the world today too. And it's not just Muslims specifically. It's don't forget Darth Jar Jar. It should have went down that path. Jar Jar Binks is the worst. That's another thing too, is like, if you agree with somebody, you agree with every worldview or perspective they've ever had about everything. You can't agree with a perspective. Like, basic logic is out the window. It's gone. Doesn't exist. Nah, Sewing Circle Christians don't debate. Oh, that's not true. NeedGod.net debates it all the time, and I put him in the category of a Sewing Circle Christian.
What is the definition of Sewing Circle Christian?
They're kind of like overly nice.
Oh, then yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, they're like so nice that it's almost like it's phony and it's kind of like fake, but because that's the way Jesus is supposed to be.
What's the antithesis of a Sewing Circle Christian? Because that's what you are.
Me? Oh, the opposite?
Yeah, what would we call
that? Damned?
Fight Club Christian?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think Andrew Wilson is the antithesis of a Sewing Circle. At least I'm trying not to swear. Right? I fail every day of the week, but I'm trying not to on the lives, at least in my day-to-day life. I don't care. I don't know. I got to stop calling people retarded.
Well, what if they're being retarded?
Yeah, but I think there's better ways to say it. Like Jesus called people fools for doing foolish things and being fools. Calling somebody retarded is saying that they literally have a mental disorder that means they are unable to.
Words. They're morons. It's literally that's the direct.
But then I also have to assume that I have the understanding that Jesus does. Right? I have to assume that I have enough knowledge to know. Mosh pit Christian. I just come and cause a bunch of shit. That's actually good. Yeah, I cause and come a bunch of shit and leave. Yeah, and then there's too far the other way. I agree. So like Jay Dyer, Andrew Wilson, and Sam Shamoon, I think have gone too far the other way. Like Sam Shamoon calling people sons of whores and saying that they're damned and literally saying to people that I don't want you to be saved, I want you to go to hell, I think is way too far. Way too far the other way.
I agree.
No, it's not nothing. It's not, of course it's not necessary, Abby. It's just something I do. A lot of things I do that aren't necessary. It wasn't necessary. I wore a blue shirt today. But yeah, him saying things like that, I'm like, it's too far. And then like people call him out of it. Like he got into a back and forth with a friend of mine, True Christian Ministry, TCM. And they had a back and forth. And the way, from what I've seen, the way that Sam treated him, I think he was better. Now he's a bit of a Sewing Circle Christian, a little bit, just right on the edge. He's still harsh and firm, but he's right on the edge of that like Sewing Circle Christian type thing. But Sam, the way Sam came back at him was crazy work. That's insane. As if he deserves heaven more than them. Well, that's what he said to Nadir. Because when I was studying Nadir, when I was preparing for my debate with him, he literally said to Nadir, I don't want you to go to heaven. Which is crazy work. Crazy work. Like the one thing Jesus did when he was nailed to the cross is he looked at the people casting lots over his clothing and said, forgive them, Father, they do not know what they do.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Does that mean that those people were saved?
I don't know.
Because if Jesus and the Father are the same ontological being, and he would request something of the Father, that would mean that it would happen. Like obviously, I don't think the persons of the Trinity can deny.
That's not true because Jesus requested that the cup of suffering pass from him, and it didn't.
Well, is that him in his human nature and not in the God nature?
Yeah. So Jesus has.
Was he asking for that request as per human Jesus?
Yeah, I'd say probably human Jesus.
Well, okay, that might get into the Nestorianism, as in per the human Jesus qua the human nature.
Yeah. Well, Jesus has two minds, right? I
know, but when you say if you said human Jesus, I guess
you're going into the two-person problem.
There's two persons. Yeah, no, there's one person.
Yeah, no, there is one. There is one sent, but he's just operating in two. He's persisting in two natures. But yeah, no, there's a human mind, which means that he's a fully human, and that's the part that a lot of Christians don't want to accept. And this is the part where I say, yes, Jesus grew in knowledge. Like it's very clear in the scripture that Jesus grew in wisdom, and Christians try to navigate around that so much. But then they also want to say in the same breath that he was fully human. Well, to be fully human is to grow in wisdom. So they try to do some crazy apologetic, ginned up apologetic, but then in the same breath say he's fully human. And this is why I really think that logic courses should be necessary. Because there's a lot of these people, the people who gin up apologetics and make things up do not do Because it's not a problem for Christianity. Jesus growing in wisdom doesn't disprove him being God, doesn't do anything, because you solve that problem by simply stating that he has a mind that is a human.
Even the apostolic, I've met a lot of Catholics who still even have a problem with that. And usually from the apostolic line, the apologetic for that is not difficult, but I've met plenty of Catholics who are like, he still knew everything. And it's like, okay.
No, well, he didn't. And it depends on, like, again, it depends on in the, who the reference, not the reference, that's not the right word. Who the, in, what's the word I'm looking for? It starts with an R, not relative, like relative identity. There's another word I'm looking for. But anyways, it's about like in relation to whatever relation it is into. So if it's in relation to his nature that is God, he knows all things. If it's in relation to his nature that is human, well, no, he doesn't know all things, right? But the nature that the mind is God, which he also possesses, can reveal as he sees fit, because it says that Jesus knows the hearts of all people, right? He just knows things that he shouldn't know. And that's because him as the person of God can just access that information as need fit. And people are like, well, that doesn't make any sense. How would that work? Well, you operate that on a day-to-day basis. You have a conscious and a subconscious, right? This is why I'm really, really enjoying the aspect relational, because it just makes a lot more sense to me. Because you have aspects of yourself. You have a conscious and a subconscious. You wouldn't say there are two persons that are you, but your subconscious reveals information to your conscious that you don't really just do. You don't choose to access it and pull it out. But the person that is you has this information and it's giving that information to you. So you wouldn't say that there are two persons. Philosophy of mind's an interesting thing too. All right, folks, that's time for today. Thank you so much for hanging out. Did we reach our dono goal today? Well, considering we didn't have one, yes. The answer is yes. We're going to raid Jim Bob, so make sure when I end the live stream that you guys all go say hello, hi. This is from Big John. Big John, make sure. I don't know. Anyways, just do that. All right, folks, 15 more hours. I tell you what, you give $1,000 super chat. I'll do not 15 more hours. I'll do a totality of a 15-hour live, and I'll take the night off work. Now I'm gonna.
You can't even drop more than like 500 a day, right?
What's that?
I don't think you can drop more than $500 on a day on Super Chat.
Really? You got 40? Don't remember. I'm just saying, if you guys drop $1,000 right now, I'll do another. How long have we been live? What does it say here? 3 hours, so we'll do another 12 hours. I don't know what we'll do for 12 hours, but I'll do it. Jesus already had wisdom. Remember the story of him in the temple at 12 years old? Yeah, sure. That doesn't say he doesn't have wisdom. You can both possess wisdom and also grow in wisdom. You'd have to possess all wisdom to not grow in wisdom. All right, folks, have yourself a great day, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.